Hello and welcome. I think, yeah, today is a little bit of a new stream for me, since usually I just play games or whatever, but several people in chat were like, yeah, I should make some reaction stuff. So I decided I'm gonna go down the science YouTuber rabbit hole, since it's probably the thing I'm the most familiar with, and I don't know, they are pretty fun. I just need to double check if everything is still working as intended. Since I need to change some of the settings probably as well. It seems like it's fine. So instead of game, I have a creation of the science engineering YouTuber I like to frequent. Michael Reeves is probably the biggest one, and yeah, most well known amongst the ones I like to watch. Since yeah, he's also in some other content creation stuff involved, but he tends to be more of a ADHD idiot who just likes to make stupid stuff. So perfect. Just actually most of the people I like to watch. So he's the he doesn't have an engineering degree or anything, unlike some of the other ones I like to watch, but most of them are basically just very stupid, but at the same time, yeah, they somewhat know what they are doing, but they do stuff not because it might help humanity, more like, yeah, I have a stupid idea, I want to make it, and it might be funny. That's basically the gist of the stuff I like to watch. I don't know. He made some higher end, if you want to call it that, engineering stuff. He started way down here with a robot that tracks your eye movement and shines laser into your eyes, upgraded to an energy squirting machine. So yeah, I know my stuff about him. But then I have to say the newer videos are for sure a bit more higher quality, if you want to call it that. It's still sometimes very chaotic, and you can tell he is not a real engineer, but it works, and it's even more fun, actually. Boston Dynamics Pisspot? I don't know. Or Da Vinci Robot, or Electric Chair. That's the fun thing about him. All of those are very good choices. Let's go electrocution first. And also, where's Waldo? Where's Waldo is something I never really knew. 1 second. Where's Waldo is not really popular outside of the US, if I'm not completely mistaken. Yeah. There we go.
Tonight's story, AI
He's
is taking American jobs and
a little
what that
bit
means
disgusting
for the
sometimes,
economy.
but
no,
yeah.
No, it's not that. I saw this video of an AI solving a Where's Waldo puzzle faster than a human, and it made me irrationally angry. Yep, that's what we're doing tonight. That's stupid.
Yeah, AI is stealing our fun.
We put it in our cars, we put it in our factories, and now we're putting it in our fun. AI is taking over the nation and devaluing the human experience. Whatever that means. This is the port of one of those cold countries.
They are
many
actually
people work
quite
here?
popular,
Zero.
such
It's
ports.
this fucking Wall-E robot putting boxes
They
on
are
other
much more
Wall-E
efficient than
robots.
anything
But by far the
humans
most
can do.
egregious
That's
use of
why
artificial
AI is better.
intelligence is when we put it in shit it doesn't need to be, i.e. why is it solving Where's Waldo puzzles? It freaks me out. And to top it all off, it's not even that good at it. Humans can do it better. I will prove to you that humans can do it
humans
better.
are
But I
stupid.
needed evidence to back up my claims, so I
So,
set out
no.
to find the truth.
Let's take a look at this robot. It uses a vision system and Google Cloud machine learning platform
That's
to
actually
identify Waldo's
pretty
position
weird setup.
on the page. It then sends that position to a robot arm, which moves over to that position on the page, which is very impressive if you're
This
an
thing is
asshole.
a
But in
problem, for
reality,
sure.
they're cutting the video because the AI takes too long to do its thing. If we look in the description, the creators themselves admit that the robot takes 5 seconds start to finish.
1 second.
In the description,
Most 5-year-old. So I'm not sure how difficult Where's Waldo is. But if a 5-year-old 4.45 seconds, that's not long. That's pretty good for a 5-year-old, if you ask me.
the creators themselves admit that the robot takes 5 seconds start to finish to find Where's Waldo, which, if we compare to human time to find Where's Waldo, is about twice as
So,
fast.
in
Human
normal
time to find
human
Where's
time
Waldo
is twice as bad as a 5-year-old, apparently. I think we should make some research into that. If the average human takes twice as long as a 5-year-old, I think the brain damage has gone a bit far.
about twice as fast. It's a small hiccup, that's okay. Not supposed to be fucking faster. So what we can assume is the people they tested to get this number
We're stupid.
shitters. They didn't have the right incentive, they didn't have the right training to find Where's Waldo fast enough. We can give them that
Just a little
training.
bit of
I had no
cocaine.
idea how to give them that training, but such a small obstacle wouldn't dissuade me from figuring out how to make the perfect where that training. But such a
I
small
have to.
obstacle wouldn't dissuade me.
Okay, most of it is just dogs.
From figuring out how to make the perfect Where's Waldo player.
So there's this guy named Pavlov,
I
right?
literally
He
had
let train
teacher
dogs
who
to do
licked
something.
the
I don't know, I
fingers
skimmed the book.
every
Two
time
types of
they wanted to
reinforcement, right?
flip a
One where
page.
you
It
reward
was
the person
disgusting.
for completing a task, and one where you
Pavlov.
punish them for failing it. You need to choose one of those types for training people in Where's Waldo. Positive reinforcement? That shit's hard. What do you like? Are you a cat person, dog person? I don't fucking know. I don't want to get
Food.
to know you, but there is one thing
Or
everyone
drugs.
understands,
Drugs
and that's
work very
pain,
well.
which is why we're going with
Or sugar,
negative
which
reinforcement,
is
which is why we
pretty
need
good.
this. You're supposed to ask why we need this.
Why do we need a Michael?
You already fucking ruined the...
The idea is to make the chair hurt people so that we can condition them to play Where's Waldo better.
I
We're
want
going to
la-
accomplish this
a
by
laser
throwing a
cutter
bunch of
like that.
electronics onto it and calling it, I don't know, an electric chair.
Putting that kind of stuff together is always quite annoying.
Wirelessly over the network from
I usually burn everything.
From anywhere, because I programmed a web server onto it, which I did over on my Twitch channel, which is where I go when I get tired of reading your shitty robot ideas. Now I can read shitty robot ideas live.
Building
I
a
can't
robot
fucking escape.
live.
I can't escape. I wonder what it feels like.
Stream idea.
With the chair completed,
But,
the only thing left
problem
to do
is
is to create the perfect
Austria
training software
doesn't really
for our
allow-
Where's Waldo players.
This is one of those eye
Peter,
trackers that streamers
so
use when they're trying
not
not
really
to
that
look at ass
possible.
or titties on the internet. With this, we can detect exactly where a test subject's eyes are looking anywhere on the screen. So we can combine that with the software I wrote, which prompts you with a random Where's Waldo.
Actually, a
template,
friend,
test to
one of my best friends, wrote his final paper about basically tracking software like that.
see if you can find Waldo within 60 seconds. If you can, great. If you can't, welcome to my
Yeah, the
Where's
pain of
Waldo testing
electrocution.
room. Our state-of-the-art equipment ensures you're going to improve at the game.
Walking in and looking at the chair, I'm already just like, fucking, what the fuck?
Sit down in my Where's Waldo training chair.
Are those tasers?
Sit down in my...
Ah, shit, this looks like an electric chair, Michael.
Keep your hands on
You
the
need
training
to
taser pads.
add some,
Where's
I don't
Waldo
know,
gaming headset on.
some leather straps
It's a
to
little
keep them down.
racist, So,
Engaged with the
This isn't open enough?
That is really cool.
electricity.
right? You'll notice the calm, relaxing music that makes it a little easier. Now there's gonna be a small audio cue where it tells
Oh my
you...
god, what the fuck is that?
Well, it tells you that you're running out of time. So you're gonna wanna find Where's Waldo.
Oh my god, I can't hear you. What the fuck is going on?
Electrocuting your friends, that's a goal.
It's to show that you have less time. Honey, you gotta put your hands. You'll notice nice, calming music. Oh, good job. You get a nice, happy sound effect as well every time.
Ooh, happiness.
more?
No problem. There's one more.
No, we did this one.
This is actually difficult if you... Yeah, if you think about it. They are also pretty mean by adding those stripes in. It is very obviously made to be annoying and harder, but yeah, if you in danger of getting electrocuted, that's...
You have 5 seconds.
Wait, oh. Wait, I'm not looking at it.
She took that like a champ.
Holy shit! I didn't expect people to be this good. I'm not this good at Where's Waldo. 10 seconds. She got even better.
Oh my fucking god.
All thanks to the Where's Waldo training platform. Fucking ease of use, anyone can be better than a robot at Where's Waldo.
I'm so traumatized. How do I go back to regular?
Do you feel like you're better at the game?
No, the pressure
Yes, of
just
course.
makes it harder. It had the opposite effect.
I hadn't considered that. So
That's
thank you
like
for-
training with
thank you. What's
weights.
the video about?
You
I think it's like humans
electrocute him a few times, and then it will be better afterwards.
Thank you for watching the video.
If there's less stress, you can probably improve. But yeah, electrocuting friends is probably worth more than being good in Where's Waldo. I don't know. Might be a bit... I probably have the same brainworms as him, but... yeah, electrocuting people is funny. Out of context, that might sound weird, but... it is hee-hee funny. Ooh. And yeah, probably most of his popular content is basically, yeah, he started, yeah, I think that's basically the start of his electrocution arc. But since then, 1 second. That's shooting himself. That doesn't count as electrocuting himself. 5. I'm pretty sure there's something in here. Okay, he made at least 6 videos where one of the main points is getting electrocuted or electrocuting someone else. Yeah, it sounds about right. Ooh, Da Vinci. Actually, I think in the hospital I worked at for a while, they had Da Vinci robots. At least they had some stuff hanging out as advertising, if you want to call it that. Oh, I want the previous sweet. Obviously, Thai pots are very delicious.
The Vinci surgical system is the most advanced streamlined surgical experience for minimally invasive surgery available in the world today.
They always look super disgusting with those long rods just sticking into the body. His looks more humane.
Hey, how's everyone's global health crisis going? My house is on full goddamn quarantine, and I'll probably be dead in a week anyway. Not from the virus, like a electrocution accident.
Yeah,
or
that sounds
something.
about
It's actually
right.
giving me a lot of free time, and what better way to spend free time right now than to help the medical
he had
industry?
a lot
Now, I
of
can't do any
acne.
chemistry or biology.
Now
or,
it's
like,
basically
body
gone.
stuff.
He
Yeah,
looks
but I can do robotics, and let me tell you,
pretty
those Da
grim
Vinci
there.
surgery robotics, rat bastards are ripping hospitals off.
Yeah.
Look at this, $2
Can't
million
you-
for one shitty
you could
robot. They just put down a couple
theoretically
hundred bandages or,
hack-
like one ambulance ride.
You could theoretically hack the robot's vision system and put it on hand high. Very good for surgery, I guess.
$2 million for one shitty robot. Because
If you think about it, 2 million is a lot. It's one robot. Yeah. Okay, but for surgical equipment, the stuff is sometimes just the surgical tools for normal surgery. One of those tools is sometimes several hundred, several thousands bucks. They are insanely expensive.
you can spend that on a couple hundred band.
Yeah, American healthcare system,
Are
I
like
guess.
one ambulance ride in the U.S. We can build a better surgery
One
robot
for
a buck
1,000?
less. Come on.
The biggest flaw in Da Vinci's design
think
is
it's
that it relies
2,000
on these
for
clunky,
ambulances.
slow robotic arms for movement. Say you're operating on a patient's foot. He starts screaming out in pain. You gotta get up to his face, smack him around a little bit,
Yeah.
make him shut up. Good fucking luck with these robotic arms. They're slow as shit and they don't have any travel distance. Instead, we're gonna mount a
That's
surgical
basically
tools
the
to a
point
rail
behind it.
system that can move anywhere on the operating table. Hey, look, it's past Michael. You know it took him 5 whole days to 3D model and build one rail carriage? What a dipshit.
Understandable, I hate 3D modeling.
Make me, you little bitch. I'm the
It is
narrator.
hard.
I'm like God. You can't kill me.
Here's what the final carriage looks like. You see, it uses wheel bearings to travel up and down the slots in this aluminum rod. But Michael, you're just gonna use your hand to make it move?
Yes,
no,
of
you're
course.
stupid, and I hate you. For power, we're using a brushless DC motor and an O drive to turn this into kind of like a brushless servo motor. Do I know what that means? Absolutely fucking not. I've never done this before. What I do know is someone told my voice crack. What I do know is someone told me this would be fast and very accurate, and all you have to do to put it in is
I forgot to record all the sound effects, okay? Give me a fucking break.
I'm pretty sure
I got the
he
motor
is.
very-
You can see that he is not an engineer
All
over
the
here.
sound effects,
His-
okay? Give me a fucking break.
It looks somewhat okay, but if I'm not mistaken, the pulley system he is using with the motor is quite inefficient in regards of weight distribution. I think he could get away with using 1 or 2 motors less and also much less weight.
I got the motor very professionally hooked up to the driver board, which
But
is
yeah,
hooked up
he's
to my
not an
computer, so
engineer.
you can see what
With
this
that
thing
kind of
can do.
stuff you see.
Okay, so this is the calibration sequence. It needs to do this before it actually runs. Oh, that's so fucking sick. I think it should be a little faster though. Oh, okay. The motor has default parameters, so you can just turn those
Yeah,
up. Let's try that now.
everything. Turn everything.
No, fucking. Oh, bad.
Yeah, that's why you have an e-stop.
That's good. That's fast. Give me 1 second. Okay, you just stand right there.
Whoa, it's pretty cool.
We just gotta put a few of these together. And it
I
looks
like people
this.
that get
I did the
scared
quirky little
that-
snap teleportation thing, right? That was 3 weeks
Easily.
ago. I'm fucking tired. But I built this test
Yeah,
platform
depression
out of aluminum and wood
is hell
that I
of a
stole
thing.
from my girlfriend's bed frame. It's not like I can go to Home Depot on quarantine. It's just a prototype, so I can write and test the software before I build the actual thing, but even the prototype is pretty cool. It's the same idea with the motor carriage on the x-axis, but now I have 2 additional motors on the y-axis. And on their own, they're just motors. They don't know how to talk to each other, they don't know how to cooperate. But if you write some software that can talk to all the motors, you can make it do pretty much anything you want. This is the homing sequence. It figures out the bounds of the machine by measuring the amperage of the motor on the motors when they stop. Yeah, you can make it do this shit. It's maybe not as stable as you'd want it to be, but it's just a prototype. So stupid. So I'm controlling it with my mouse right now. It looks jerky and awful, but it's actually
That's
got a really
where
good amount of precision to it.
The weight distribution comes in. He has 3 motors to move this, which means I think usually you could get away with at least using 2. Yeah, 2 would be enough if you spin it around correctly to move, and they wouldn't have to move with the carriage system, so they could be somewhere else and move everything at once. It's a lot more difficult to design and to calibrate, but it
Gonna go
wouldn't
in a
weigh
circle from
that
the
much.
top-down view. Like I said, this is not the final surgery robot. It's
It
going to
is.
be much more refined, much more medical looking, you know, much more safe for the user. And all that movement was controlled by the code I wrote. Don't worry, I'm not going to show it. I know everyone thinks it's boring. So
I hate
I
coding.
don't give a shit what you think. Look at this dynamic bounds detection routine that's fucking sick.
Here's a limit switch. You can put it here to detect the bounds of your machine. Yeah, fuck that limit switch. It's cringe. Instead, write some code that steps the motor forward until it starts using a lot of power. Then you know you hit the edge of the rail. And then you know exactly where you are
But that's
in relation to
also-
the bounds of the machine. It's fuck. A lot of power. Then you know you hit the edge of the rail. And then you know exactly.
Okay, so I assume, if I'm not mistaken with his explanation, he's basically rolling the motor with full speed against the wall and detects, it goes full speed and nothing happens, and that's his brake, which is easy, I guess, to calibrate, and you don't need extra parts, but at the same time, it's not very elegant.
Exactly where you are in relation to the bounds of the machine. It's fucking sick. Look how
Unless
cool
he-
the code. Then you know exactly where you are.
Unless he calibrated it and then kept it as a value. So he might have done that. He might have basically registered this as the moving area, but I'm not sure.
In relation to the bounds of the machine, it's fucking sick. Look how cool the code part is, guys. I'm gonna keep going. This part
No,
applies to
code is
scaling
not-
factors
that's
that are
too much
calculated as a
writing.
function of the input.
But Michael, I hear you ask. So you can move the carriage over any part of the operating table you want. Great. But how are you going to move the medical tools up and down to engage with the patient? Well, that's where the carriage utility mechanism comes into play. That's the thing that's going to move the scalpel,
The shortcut is
clamp, or
very-
whatever, up and down, which is great. There's just a small problem, slight problem. Well, I built it, which is a good thing. My original plan was, just to have a thin piece of plastic with a motor attached to it that moves a plate. Easy. But then I saw that thing. Okay, there's no way that's gonna survive, so I gotta make it a little strong. I may as well make it go a little faster. I got a little carried away, and now it looks like a time bomb, and it weighs 10
Yeah,
fucking pounds.
you could probably get away with hollowing out some of the structures, but yeah, that thing is heavy.
It works great. The motor precisely moves the mounting plate up and down wherever you want it to go.
Usually, if you really wanted to design something like this, the way you would lose weight is it's a bit broad, plus the motor in here is probably overpowered, plus it's hard to engineer or to produce, but you would cut out basically everything in here. So everything that's not super necessary would be cut off. So that's why in a lot of higher end stuff there are hollows grinds. So you just save some weight without losing any of the structure.
So we're gonna have to do a little test. Michael, why don't you just use the carriage utility mechanism to test it out? Well, it took me a long time to build, and it's fucking beautiful, so cry more. It looks like it's handling small movements pretty well. Why?
The inertia is a little bit
Okay,
problematic,
that's
I guess.
not that bad. Okay, it's fine. It'll be fine. We can probably just go ahead and make the final version. And it looks like this. I did the stupid hand thing again. It's been 3 more weeks. I have severe depression. But Michael, where's the surgery robot? Wait for it. Wait
I
for
like
it.
the saw
Oh,
he
big
has.
reveal. This is
Want
the
it.
surgery robot. Massive payoff. Huge. I have brain damage. Behold.
That's actually, to be honest, that's actually impressive. It looks pretty clean. The table is probably just an off-the-shelf IKEA table. I'm pretty sure of that. But it is pretty precisely made. It has to be, but also it's probably because of the saw. With those saws, you can cut metal super cleanly. So I want that.
The superior surgery robot, you Da Vinci shitter fiends. It's got the cone.
You
It's got the
shitter.
cable management. It's got the super fucking hard to reach driver boards. I don't know why I put them under here. I thought it would look cool. But Michael, does it even work? Does
No.
it work? Does it work? I don't know if it works. I haven't turned it on yet. I've been too afraid since it took me so long to build, so I turned the camera on so you can at least see my tears when it tears itself apart. I'm worried about this shit because when I built it, I went ooga booga caveman brain, metal strong. Metal
Yeah,
not strong,
aluminium
metal
is
world,
not that
McDonald's
strong.
place trampoline, but you gotta take
Yep.
chances when you're innovating on the next great thing. So I'm gonna turn it on.
The McDonald's trampoline, those things were built pretty strong, if I remember correctly. It's been quite a while since I even saw something like that, but they were pretty sturdy, I think.
God, oh,
but also very disgusting.
yeah, okay. Please don't break it. Yeah. All right, the machine's working. Now
The,
we can start
the bounce.
next great thing.
You
So
can
I'm
see
gonna
it
turn
twist.
Oh God, oh please. Yeah, okay. Please don't break it.
Oh,
All right, the machine's
very
working.
precise.
Now we can start to control it. But Michael, where's the controller? Fuck you. You are the controller. I got this VR hand tracking camera.
Aren't they usually installed at the monitor like this to basically look at you? I don't know. I don't really know how the face tracking really works. The VTuber community, it is somewhat common, but not for 2D models. It is possible, I think, but it's very unpractical. And also not really that possible compared to 3D.
Off of Amazon that works super goddamn well. So you just take the hand coordinates from this, pipe them into the surgery robot, and bing bang boom. Oh, boom! Fuck you, DaVinci Robotics. You can move my thing with just floating your hand around. Robot, go here. Ooh, robot.
That's super high. Even if you were to make a knife or whatever, a scalpel, if you put it right up here, so it still would have to stand out like at least this far to reach the bottom.
Do surgery here. Oh no, patient bleeding there. Oh, do
And the-
surgery there on that.
The problem is,
Do surgery
it's not
over
really
here. Now do
adjustable.
surgery over there, and now do surgery. Fuck you, DaVinci. You shitty robot can't do that. You need to squeeze those little metal robot teeth to do yours.
They look pretty funny.
Shit. Before I
Those
sell my design to surgeons
thingies.
across the nation, we have to attach some surgical tools to the cum, because otherwise it's just a
The
big
wobble.
ass robot. So let's buy a scalpel on Amazon. Wow, that is just unacceptable. Scalpels are gonna take a whole 3 days.
And
Wow,
$8
that's
bucks?
pretty reasonable.
That's
Fuck, no, that's messed up.
pretty
Dang
nice.
global health crisis. That's far too long. If only I had an alternative. When you really think about it, scalpels are just shitty, smaller knives. So why
Yeah.
don't we just use bigger, better knives? Like, hello, we already have those. Wake up, sheeple.
That was
Are you tired
at
of outdated
the peak of the Corona crisis, where sheeple was thrown around every, I don't know, every minute, because of if you wear a mask, you are sheeple.
surgical technology? Are you looking for the
Fun
cutting edge
times.
in power, precision, and usability? Look no further. The future of surgical robotics is here.
Look at the fucking knife.
Unlike some other surgical systems, we've run
Okay,
a
I
gamut
guess it makes sense, seeing that he
of
used a
surgical robotics
knife.
is here.
If it were any deeper, he would not have a desk anymore.
Look at the fucking knife.
Unlike some other surgical systems,
But they
we've
wobble
run a
just
gamut
because
of
it
tests to
bounced up and
ensure
down.
Our machine has power.
I'm gonna stab a pineapple. Oh fuck! Commencing the operation.
Yeah,
Operate on it.
it doesn't seem to have a lot of power.
Patient, small incision. Small incision. We'll move the patient. Commence surgery on the patient.
But power isn't the only thing we strive for. Precision is an essential tenet of surgery, and we make no exceptions when testing for accuracy.
What the fuck is that? Hey, ready to do some painting?
Art.
No, Lily, come on.
It is art.
Oh shit! Oh, fuck. Draw the Mona Lisa. Draw the Mona Lisa.
Okay. Oh, I got the paint. I got the paint. Eyes.
That's a little racist looking, Lily.
It would be interesting
Yeah,
to use a hand tracking camera like this on a actual drawing software, since it seems very imprecise, but I wonder how imprecise. It seems like it might be okay with the general direction, so x epsilon, but the c-ax would be problematic, so the pressure of your whatever brush you are using, which sometimes it's not that big of a deal, but if you want to be somewhat precise, yeah, that would be interesting.
I'm not gonna pressure you, but this is supposed to show how accurate my machine is. It'll reach the water.
Let's see a Da Vinci try to do that. You might be wondering, is the system FDA approved?
Just someone smiling. Yeah, it's approved.
But don't just take our word for it. Here's what a real medical professional has to say about this innovative new technology.
We're gonna go for like a laparoscopic.
What does EMT stand
So we just
for?
make a small incision above the chest here. We can. Okay. A little bit more difficult for some procedures, but not. You can see you still have a lot more accurate control than a lot of surgical systems. Like I was saying, moving the patient
Surprised that
is-
he never cut himself, since with the hand tracking and when he gets too close, it's basically disaster.
a lot easier with the system. Like normally you'd have to manually move them. Would you add this to your do you think hospitals could adopt?
Yeah, of course.
Dangerous.
Okay, I appreciate the feedback.
In America, hospitals are capitalistic oriented. So have one of those in the entrance hall, let it be plugged in, and just let children play with it. Actually, have it in front of the hospital where you are not liable legally. And then, yeah, oopsie, they cut off their hand, so we have to help them and score some money. I'm a
You're
genius.
wrong.
Last but not least, we've made our machines so intuitive
Moral
that anyone can
genius,
use surgery
no.
with no prior training.
So you've never seen this machine before in your life. This is perfect because this study is to see if we can bring someone from 0 skill level all the way up to the ability of a surgeon. Scoot up right in front of, not too close because it's kind of dangerous. So just put your hand out. If you just put your hand out above
He's
the-
so lucky. He has at least 2 people around that get jump scared by the littlest things. I absolutely love annoying people that are that jumpy. It is just funny, since my existence is usually enough to jump scare them. Since, yeah, people don't really notice if I just come into a room or whatever, and then they get jump scared. And it's always hilarious.
thing. So higher up controls the knife position. You can move it further closer and it'll get further away from you.
Actually, it
We're gonna
seems
make a
to be
small
somewhat
incision
precise.
Right above the ear.
Okay.
There's some of 6. There's some of 6. Okay, so you're doing it wrong. Okay, so clearly.
He is brave to do that.
Take another incision to stop. Plug the hole with the knife. Yeah, perfect. Nice. Yeah, you perfect. Oh, it's okay. No, it's
Considering
fine.
it's him, I'm not sure if the knife is actually sharp. With that test, it might not be, since, yeah, styrofoam, you
It's
can't
learning.
just
It's a learning
poke it with your
experience. Try and
finger.
retract the knife from the head. Let's just try and get it out of. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, good incision. If your patient's over here and you don't want him to be over there, move him over here. Do some surgery over here. Move him back. I don't even know what surgery this was supposed to be. Thank you for watching.
You can even see that he ran out of blood, since he had probably some squib down there, which supplied the blood pressurized in here. Yeah, it's empty.
Development for my surgical system. If you're a hospital looking to try it out, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to me on YouTube, and maybe, just maybe, I'll let you borrow it for a bit. Remember, stay in school, smoke crack, fuck you Da Vinci robots, bye.
It would be hilarious if he went to the hospital at one point and the Vinci robots were like, nah, you're not allowed to use our robots for his surgery, since he was mean to us. Would be petty, but also funny. Should we switch around a little? I Did a Thing is probably also one of my favorites. I've watched. He blew up in the last 2 years or so. I started watching him somewhere down here. Probably here. He's even less of an engineer than Michael Reeves. He's basically as much of an engineer as me. Just an idiot who somewhat understands some stuff, and yeah, it somehow works without killing him. Actually, 1 second. I actually have a backstory to this one. But I need to find something on Twitter first. He basically not stole my idea, but I'm just gonna say he stole my idea. He has big balls. The 8 ball from the random table in Fallout 4. The 8 ball. Ooh, yummy. To be honest, it actually looks, the way they present it actually looks this delicious. I'm pretty sure it's German. Okay.
Go on. Now I'm pretty good at pool. You know what I'm not very good at? Hitting a pool ball hard enough that it hits my mate in the head and makes his eyes turn into billiard balls like that scene from Tom and Jerry.
That's disgusting and scary. Having the eyes bulge out like this. Considering that Tom and Jerry was peak children TV, but it is actually a bit, what you want to call it, fucked up.
So today, I'm going to create a device to make that happen. Alright, so I've got a couple of made-up requirements for this device. First, I want it to be small enough to fit on the end of a real pool stick and not look that different or suspicious. I also want it to break the world record for fastest pool break, which is only around 30 miles per hour, which seems pretty slow. Then,
Yeah,
to finish off, I want to play my mate in a game of pool.
Okay, I thought there might be something funny in the comments, but it's just the Bruce Lee 1-inch punch. Yeah, whatever.
And win. And I think I've got a pretty good idea of how I want to do all this, and that's with these blank rounds, which I've screwed around
They are
with
actually
before
scary.
in my power hammer, which was able to fling nails all the way through my roof. And the great thing about these rounds is that they are very small,
And I'm pretty
while
sure
also being very safe.
I couldn't even buy those. In Austria,
there are
they
any
are
kids
for
under
sure
watching this,
illegal
you should
or very, very hard to get.
Definitely play with these. So I've drawn this sketch of how I imagine these rounds working. First, I'll have my pool stick, which has a metal cap on the end with a metal sleeve. And inside that sleeve will sit a hollow rod, and inside that rod is a piston. And then when I hit the pool ball, that rod will move back inside the sleeve, hitting the metal cap, setting off the blank round, which will fire the piston out at high speed, hitting the pool ball. But I really have
Overall, probably not too bad of an idea, but if you think about it, you need to hit the ball hard enough to set off the round, which means you already hitting the ball basically with a normal hit. So, yeah. A better idea, but much, much more complex would probably be a spring-loaded mechanism to basically detect, yeah, you touch the ball, then a spring-loaded mechanism triggers the round. But
no idea
building
if this
that
will work,
is
and a lot can go wrong.
not easy.
Like the whole thing exploding, or the piston shooting out like a bullet, or worst of all, I don't actually get enough force to set off the blank round. But the only way to find out is to start making. So I got this piece of mild steel round bar and put it in my lathe. Now, the metal workers amongst you have already noticed a massive mistake I've made that will come to haunt me later. You want to tell me what it is so I don't have to do it? No. So the first thing I'm doing is making this piece, which is going to be the barrel, and it will be the same diameter as the wooden pool stick. And you know, there's actually a reason my lathe looks like this. It's my vague attempt to get it to work better by getting anything in my house that has weight and putting it on top or inside the lathe, which helps it stop chattering and shaking around. And since doing this, I have noticed a big difference in the way it cuts.
Okay.
So after turning the barrel down to size, I realized I made it a little bit too small. So I added some material into the lathe and made it bigger.
Yeah, that's how it works, for sure. Actually, working with a lathe is pretty cool. In principle, it's also one of the, I think it's supposed to be the most dangerous tool you could have in your workshop. Lathes are actually scary.
The right size.
Even though this
Now,
is a
I'm
small
gonna drill a
one,
hole
but
through the middle,
it
making
could
the barrel.
mess you up.
And I barely started drilling when I somehow managed to break the lathe. That's not meant to have a crack in it.
That
So
looks like
I took this
cast
long metal
steel.
bar from my collection
Tends to
and
break.
cut it to the same size as the broken part. And then I'm going to attempt something I've never seen before and that might be illegal. I put a milling drill bit in the lathe chuck and put my piece in the tool holder and started cutting grooves out so it matches the broken part. Never mind, I broke the milling bit. So instead I just drilled a hole in the metal.
I think he
without
just
the
went
part.
into, it doesn't seem too deep, but more or less you can do it if I'm not mistaken, since a mill and a lathe, they are somewhat similar.
Never mind, I broke the milling bit. So instead I just drilled a hole in the metal without cutting grooves and put it back in, and now the lathe works again.
Yeah.
What was I doing again? So
It
after
is
adding the
probably,
broken milling-
it seems like this is the part you use to, this is a slate, and this part, if you jump down on this, fixes it to the position, so it just presses against this. I guess it's possible, I guess the grooves would have been over here, so the metal is not wobbling around, but it might work. The issue is, now, first of all, it's probably too thick, so this is probably not gonna clamp down as good. Plus, if you slide around, this might turn around and everything falls down, which it could be quite
So
an
after
issue.
adding the broken milling bit on top of the lathe for weight, I finished drilling the
tungsten.
hole. Now it's time to cut the part off, and I find I get a better result if the part comes off and falls directly into this pile of sharp metal pubic hair, which is always really fun to dig parts out of. Alright, now comes the piston, which I'm going to make by turning down this piece until it fits into this hole. And I think I've left enough of a rim here to stop the piston from firing out the end. So I used a little bit of lubricant
that's
and put a thread on the end of it. I also
pretty
made a
small.
little end cap that will attach to the piston using the same size thread. And because I don't want to damage it, I put it in the vise with my apron wrapped around it.
Yeah, that's the perfect
Then
attire
screwed
for
on this
working.
end piece, which will be making contact with the ball. And now the whole thing looks like this. It moves around
I
okay.
actually preferred sometimes to get whatever damage on my bare skin or color on my bare skin, since my clothes, they are damaged and I have to buy new ones, and I hate buying clothes. But yeah, if I get my skin cut up, it will just heal. A little bit of a few cuts and bruises, they are not an issue, but buying clothes, that's annoying.
So before I put the blank round in and give it a test go, there's something else I need to do. And you've already seen the thumbnail, and you know that I need to put some exhaust holes in the barrel, which will firstly make it look cooler and match the thumbnail, but will also release gas and hopefully stop the piston from slamming into the end of the barrel too hard. So I just did that on the drill press. And the great thing about doing this without the use of any physics programs
He's
or
using
mathematical
mild steel for
calculations is that I
everything,
have
which it's unhardened mild steel. I guess mild steel would work, but you would probably have to harden it and temper it.
no idea if these
To
exhaust
make it a
ports
bit
will be large enough or in
safer.
the right place to stop the whole thing from blowing
Also,
up,
it seems
which is why I'm
pretty
going to test
thin.
it in this vise first. While I stand behind this very thin plaster wall.
That's the best thing about him. He basically, most of the stuff he does is just, I guess this is probably gonna be enough, and he just hopes it's not gonna kill him.
But before I do that, I'm going to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, PayPal Honey.
I don't want to watch that.
In 3, 2, 1. I hate it when that happens.
Which didn't work. So I tried a heavier piece of metal.
3, 2, 1.
Which didn't work either. So I tried again.
Okay.
he's also using it a little bit weird. He wants to basically. Actually, yeah, it might work. This is the front side, and he is hitting the back of the bullet, but he wants to basically push the bullet back through the force of the front. So even if this setup works, it doesn't guarantee if the rest works.
It's like it survived. And that made the whole house vibrate and shot the piston out at a ridiculous speed. And it also didn't blow up, which is amazing, as I didn't expect these holes to be big enough to let the gas out. But after looking at the slow motion, which only captured a single frame of the round going off, you can see that heaps of gas came back out the top, ejecting the round, which sounds like a good thing. But when it's on the end of the pool stick, this means it will shoot off the end or just blow up. It also means I'm wasting heaps of gas, which could be pushing down the piston with more force. So I drilled some more exhaust holes in the barrel, and also put in this tiny spring to hopefully help the piston survive the extra force.
This spring is useless.
And at first I thought that did better, as the round was still in the top, but then I realized I couldn't move the piston. So after using a hammer to get it out, I saw the problem.
Yeah.
Look at the spring.
If you compress metal that hard, it won't work.
It's getting stretched. Whoa. It's hitting the inside with such force.
There are other signs, some other YouTuber and such, who made somewhat similar stuff, and they made their metal, whatever, the pipes and whatever, so much thicker than his. According to their calculations, this would probably blow up. I think they would be too scared to even go near this.
That it's stretching this bit. Look at that. And lucky for me, I also have my super slow-mo camera, which records at 60 frames per second and gave me this single frame of information, telling me nothing. My camera is just not recording fast enough. You know, if I could have any YouTuber locked up in my attic right now, it would definitely be the slow-mo guys, just so I could understand what is actually happening here. Boys, if you're watching, I've even put a chair up there for you.
I remember this. Yeah. I haven't seen a lot of attics, but this one is a bit cramped, I guess.
And I really should have had some more foresight, and known that the mild steel would misshape and give out like this.
Yeah.
Which now means I need to make the whole thing again using a stronger steel, using this stuff here, called 2160 or 5160 or
Yeah, steel names are
1300,
always
700,
confusing.
904. I don't remember. So I remade the whole device again, but this time without any jokes.
His apron is pretty
And I
disgusting.
also made the piston much thicker, which should now
It was
hopefully
cleaned at the
survive.
beginning.
But in case it doesn't, I'm going to skip
when I
doing
started
another
watching
safety
him-
test in the vise and go straight to testing by hand to see what it does to a pool ball
And
and
the spring, once
Yeah,
again,
to do this, I bought a
would be
material called
useless.
polycarbonate, which is similar to monogamy carbonate but has many more layers. Then I just welded up a frame for it. And I'm fairly
Polycarbonate is
confident this
pretty
stuff should protect me
strong.
from the rounds and explosion, as it's what the Mythbusters used. And as far as I'm aware, they ain't dead.
Mythbusters. He actually died. He was in his 50s? I thought he was pretty young back when he worked with the Mythbusters. I thought he was, I don't know, at most, actually 30. Yeah, it's been quite a while since Mythbusters aired. I'm getting old. But he seemed nice. I try not to command. Yeah, such a beautiful shelf. And that's how you burn yourself. Okay. Usually if I do that, I burn myself.
Okay, so I've decided I better add another piece of polycarb, and it's now 12 millimeters thick. Then I just cut this neat little hole in the polycarb for the pool stick to go through. And I know what you're thinking. What was the point of making this blast-proof screen if you're just going to put a hole in the middle of it? Well, hopefully the pool stick will cover up that hole, and I'll also position myself to the side.
I'm also not sure. He only fixed it on a few points. I would fix it on several points, and it seems like he didn't use rubber washings. I would use that to basically mitigate the problem of, yeah, it just getting hit and splintering out of one of the fixture points.
Away from the hole and the blast. Okay, next I just cut off the end of a pool stick and drilled down the center and then shoved in the metal pin with a sleeve around it to hold the piston. And it's done, which is annoying because I'm terrified and really don't want to use this.
Understandable. He's holding it like a grenade.
Okay,
which
it's not
is
setting
pretty
off the
close
round.
to
And I
what
think
it
that's
is.
because the round is hitting against this flat piece of metal. So I'm going to grind it down on the belt sander until I have just a small pin, which should hopefully crush just the end of the round.
I'm not sure if those kind of rounds are... There's usually a difference. There are two kinds of mechanism to set off the round, either in the middle or the edge. I think those are set off if you hit the edge of the round, but I'm not sure. I never worked with those.
Ready, set.
Yeah, it actually blew up.
Ready, set.
What the hell is that? It's either flattened out metal, or I don't know. I don't know what it might be.
I'm okay.
And that worked a little too well and turned the end of a stick into a grenade.
That was insane. The pull stick is
All things considered, that's
destroyed.
small damage.
And the outside sleeve is over here.
Oh,
And if we do some really
that might be
bad
that. Maybe.
speed calculations, the camera was recording at 60 frames per second, and in one frame the ball traveled
But
roughly 50 centimeters.
considering there were metal shrapnel, that is actually dangerous. That could actually kill you.
Which means it's traveling at 30 meters a second or 108 kilometers an hour, which is 70 miles per hour, which is 40 miles faster than the fastest pull brake ever. And that's
Yeah.
already one of my arbitrary goals ticked off. So let's move on to the pool game. But
There's
first, I'm gonna
actually lots of times if you measure the speed of something, they actually just measure the distance and the frame rate you record at and calculate it with that.
fix this sleeve. And this time I'm going to make it out of thicker metal and also put some exhaust holes so that if the gas comes out of the back, it doesn't explode the stick. And this looks pretty cool. Way better than the first version.
Okay, I think I understand his design, but it's once again inefficient because of some of the reasons he explained before, but for his use case it's probably better to be inefficient since, yeah, it means it won't blow up. Since the bullet will be right here, then pressed behind on this here, so after the explosion, all the gases will just vent out of here and here. I assume it will be quite a power drop, but yeah. If you were to design it in a way where all the power were actually used, this thing will blow up 100%. And hello.
Which means it's time for me to find a pool table.
How's it going?
Nice. Hi, Alexa.
That's actually a nice looking pool table.
Pool?
So Alexa and I are going to
Every
play
pool
a game
table
of
I
pool,
know
except he has a normal
looks
pool stick and
super
I have mine,
trash
and we'll see who
compared to
wins.
this.
Glory hole pool. Is that what we're doing? Yeah, exactly. It's a pity you're not travel long enough to reach that, though. But you versus me. And I'll break first.
Oh yeah, the Hacksmith. I don't really watch the Hacksmith too much. He's too competent. I prefer the Maker YouTube community is already, they are pretty tight if you want to call it that, but that's basically the assortment of Maker YouTuber I really like to watch. Basically, it's the idiots. Some of them, I think William Osman has at least 2 engineering degrees. He has also at least 1. He also has at least 1. He has basically none, and he also has even less probably. But the thing is, those are all idiots. Yeah, Alan Panis. He is a super fucking nerd, but he's fun. One of the best videos is... Ooh, this one is funny, but there's only half of it on YouTube, at least officially coming from him. This one is fantastic. But we could watch it after this. But yeah, this one, it would make it, but something like this. But in Austria, you would get into trouble, in huge trouble.
Happy? No, but... Oh, I hate this. I hate this so much. 3, 2, 1. Oh.
They actually used double-sided tape there. Letting explosives fall is scary.
A horrible shot. What happened? I just... What happened? It just missed. Oh no! So I get the break. Yeah, so I guess you get to break. Okay, that was my first shot.
Okay, so this is because I missed, so it's your shot. Is there bullet on the table?
There's bits of everything. There's so many little... This thing's sharp. What is that?
Okay, your shot.
That might actually be a part of the bullet if you think about it. It might have shot through one of the vent holes.
That was a bad break.
I mean, it's better than your shot.
It was better than my
We
shot.
all saw what happened.
And Alexa isn't much better at pool, and he lined me up perfectly for a nice soft shot on the purple ball here.
Yeah, soft shot is the perfect use case for explosive bat. Actually, they made a similar project for seniors to play golf, so they actually used something like that. But I'm not sure if it uses. I think it uses compressed air, which is still pretty dangerous. And I'm not gonna play Imagine Dragons. Imagine Dragon these nuts. They would probably come and kill me if I play some music like that.
3, 2, 1.
And I don't know. Imagine Dragons is. They have some okay or good songs, but I don't know. Most of the recent ones I'm not really a fan of. No, I'm not gonna react to my own gameplay. At least not now. I would have to cringe.
What did I break? The white ball was looking up. I can't.
Maybe if someone ever makes a compilation of my, I don't know, Dark Souls deaths or whatever, then maybe. But I would have to cringe.
I guess we continue. I can't beat you like this, though.
Where's the other half?
How is that possible?
And at first I had no idea what happened, but after watching the slow motion you can see that the pool stick chops the white ball in half, sending one of the halves into the striped ball, pushing it in.
I still think it's funny. He basically built a bullet, if you think about it. There's nothing stopping it from flying out. So after with the inertia of the piston, plus the... If he didn't use those vent holes, he could probably shoot someone with it. Since all the gases can't really escape anywhere here, this is probably pretty tight. So the only way would be to escape from here, which means it would fly out like a rocket.
Now I wanted to get a lot of power with this build, but I never expected it to be powerful enough to split
I'm
the
gonna
white
build
ball
something like
clean in
that,
half.
but I
guess it's
would
good
get in
because I got
trouble.
one in, even though I wasn't aiming for that ball, and that means I'm ahead by one ball.
Which ball did I get in? I got in stripes. So that means you got to get.
I get the falls.
You're on
How am I
falls.
meant to get anything with this?
Well, you got to
How am I
try.
meant to hit this?
Try to hit that.
Okay, but I got to do it back from there.
Yeah.
It's alright. It's not a big deal. Just
Somewhere on the
play
line.
Falls, anywhere on the line.
Anywhere on the line is the
And I'm
rule.
going for falls.
Yeah. Let me just. Which one you aiming for?
I'm trying to get that blue in at the end.
Oddly enough, it worked somehow.
You're better with
Even the-
half a ball than a real ball.
And after that miracle shot from Alexa, we were now tied.
Swap hands.
You can also make a very effective weapon by just putting them in a sock. I don't know why, I just have to think about that, but it works.
Hey! Was that your ball?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No.
Okay, so it's my go, but I'm gonna replace this ball with
all the other ones.
a real ball, and I'm gonna aim for this guy. That's great.
Okay, we'll replace it. Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Imagine bringing something like this to a bar.
Yellow over here, really good ball.
That's fine.
But the white ball flew over there.
The white ball flew
That would be quite
outside.
funny. I'm pretty sure you had to stick it down with the double-sided tape, since he wouldn't have enough force to shoot it off otherwise.
Okay, I sunk one of his balls, and I'm realizing I really don't have much control with this thing. It kind of just knocks all the balls in.
Okay, what are you lining up for?
That red one right there.
Okay, whenever you're ready. You suck. So this is good for me though, because I can get it into here, get another break.
Yeah.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
White ball sitting over there. One of them went in.
What would it?
Yeah, it went in over here.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
It keeps working.
And I sunk another one of his balls. So Alexa's ahead by 2 balls, which means I need to sink 3 in one go to get ahead.
This might just be a scratch, but he might have broken his bulletproof shield. And I'm still convinced that the way he fixed it on, first of all, it's not at all aligned. It would probably break. If I kicked this with full strength, I wouldn't be certain that it survives. Half the screws are missing.
You have the easiest shot here, sir. You're very bad at this game.
Still winning.
You are still winning. You are still winning.
No, you're only as bad as the person you're playing against.
I'm kind of scared to do more shots with this because I feel like the more we do, the more likely this explodes or the police come. Yeah, I'll do one more shot. One more shot?
Yeah.
Yep, alright. Okay, but you've positioned me perfectly for white into these two. Don't even have to move the screen. 3. I hate this.
The way they huddle behind it.
2, 1. Oh my god.
Yeah, the thing flies out with enough power to actually hit the table with. Yeah, I think the dent here is from just this thing flying out. This is dangerous.
How did it not hit that cup?
It missed everything.
That is hilarious.
Okay, maybe not.
Yeah, so the reason that that one was so hard is that the pistons finally broke.
Oh my god.
What?
Why didn't you... I said, oh my god.
And I think that means that's the end of the game. As the piston
It might also
expanded
just be
again,
the spring, to be honest, since the spring is probably deformed beyond anything.
and is now stuck. And I don't want to remake the whole thing. And also, I'm scared the police are going to come. So New South Wales Police, if you are watching this video, those loud bangs you heard, they were my car backfiring.
Okay.
Thank you so much for watching.
I think I never heard a car backfire. At least not that significantly loud. I think I'm gonna switch to him. Shooting babies is fun, I guess. I just realized this is a gun. This is a gun. Not really. This is a gun. He makes a lot of gun content. Okay. Yeah. This is fine.
No, this is great.
Is this too much? Is this?
No,
this is great.
It's not too much.
Little girl. Inject. Don't shoot me.
Oh my.
Measles. Oh!
That's the kind of stuff I absolutely love. I don't know, it's stupid, but also some engineering behind it.
Well,
it's the
been a while
brainworm
since I've seen y'all, and you can probably
perfection.
guess why I got the Rona. I'm fine though. That's not actually me in a hospital. That's me at the American Red Cross donating my blood
the Hello
plasma
Kitty
because it's got
blanket.
tasty coronavirus antibodies. And I've been assured that those bags are indeed plasma and not pee.
It is
Looks
pee.
kind of like pee though, and kind of, I mean, you know, maybe people have pee in their blood. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. That's right. I'm actually so healthy now that my blood can heal sick people. But it wasn't fun. I was completely useless for about 6 weeks, and it got me thinking. Folks, we need a coronavirus vaccine. Now the good news is by the time this video comes out, we'll probably have several in the US that get emergency use authorization.
This was basically
Bad news
still
is
at the peak of
we still
Corona.
need to figure out distribution. Did you know it takes 2 years?
This is basically an anti-vax meme message, whatever, and he's basically using it as, yeah, you see, it takes so long. Why not just do it fast?
To put this many needles into a baby? That's way too long. We need a faster method, and we need it now. No, I'm not saying that we should get tranquilizer darts and fill them with vaccines. No, that's ridiculous. Those darts are actually pretty expensive. No,
Yeah.
we're gonna make our own vaccine darts. If you think I'm being too extreme, let's do a little math. We need to vaccinate 200 million people.
I will assume it. This is. I'm not sure what it is exactly,
think
but
I'm-
I assume this is just some resin. Probably, I'm not
being
sure.
too extreme. Let's
Maybe with some additional, I don't know, metal
do a
shavings.
little math. We need to vaccinate 200 million people. Worst case, they'll all need 2 doses, so 400 million syringes. If we want things to get back to normal in 6 months, that's 180 days or 15,552,000 seconds. 400 million syringes divided by 16 million seconds is 25 injections per second, nationwide, 24/7 for 6 months straight. Yeah, we need to do this. But Alan, I hear you asking from across the internet, how do you have access to the coronavirus vaccine before anyone else?
I just realized he has Kenazort. wonder.
Well, you weren't paying attention to the beginning of the video where
Yeah, cool.
I said my blood can heal sick people. If I put my blood into these darts, then it'll work perfectly. But I only have so much
Sure.
blood, so for now, we're just gonna use red food coloring. The rear 3D printed piece is what allows us to easily pressure.
I just realized how this
We're
works,
just
I
gonna use
think.
red food coloring. The rear.
Okay, yeah, I think I now understand how it works. So this one is fixed in here, just so there is a complete seal, and it is screwed on here, so this won't move. And then here is pressure built up, and if you open the front, yeah, the pressure will squirt out. But this part, I never
Your 3D
realized
printed piece
how
is what
it
allows
works
us
exactly.
to easily pressurize the back end of the syringe. I mean, look at how easy it is. It twist locks into place and is also what holds our flight stabilizing floof and an O-ring that you'll find out what it's for later.
Build something like this, but it would be quite illegal, I think, around here.
I'm not reinventing the wheel here. The slow-mo guys have a really great video on
That's also the video why I know how they work.
how tranquilizer darts work, and I based my design almost entirely on what I saw in that. There's liquid butane on this side and exerts pressure on this plunger. That means all this blood wants to shoot out, but our only exit hole is covered up with this silicone tube. Then the needle should go through this canvas, but the silicone tube will get pushed up. That'll uncover the notch, and all the vaccine will Oh! Oh!
Yeah.
That actually works better than it has any right to. Uh-oh, YouTube, what's this? Is this a gun?
Pew pew stick.
We've got ourselves a Daisy 880 multi-pump.
I think that thing is super normal in the US. I saw it in even The Simpsons and so on. I think kids in the US just have those kind of guns lying around. I don't know why, but that's a bit weird. I still wanted one as a kid, but around here it's not allowed. I think if you can buy guns like that, but you would have to be 18 plus. And yeah, still, it's not that easy. You can probably buy that in Walmart, or actual gun in Walmart. Over here, you literally need to go to probably a weapons dealer for a gun like that.
Pneumatic air rifle. This thing shoots BBs or pellets up to 800 feet per second if you pump it up 10 times. Yes, I think this is absolutely perfect. What we need to figure out now is instead of firing these, how do we make this gun fire these? The first thing we need to do is remove the barrel shroud from our Daisy and cut the barrel to length. We're gonna replace it with a nice fat brass barrel, thick with 2 C's, and we're just gonna glue that right in there. At the end, we're gonna make this really nicely shaped part.
If you glue it in there like this, you would... I wouldn't quite do it this way, since... Actually, it might work since down here you have a little bit of a guidance, but it would wobble maybe a little bit, which means it will shoot somewhere else.
Gonna glue that right in there. At the end, we're gonna make this really nicely shaped part. It's CNC'd, which stands for telescoping tubes that fit together. Next, I shaped some steel tube to act as an extender to the barrel and also give us a little bit of a pump action, I think you'd call it. I don't know. If it's wrong, someone will correct me in the comments. Click! We've got our human analog right over there because I don't know if this gun actually has enough oomph to shoot a
I guess the design works.
Click!
But it's quite inefficient, not just because the longer your barrel, the more speed a projectiles would build up. So it would be better down here, but it would be more difficult to design, I guess. Yeah, the rest, it doesn't have a locking mechanism and so on, but I don't think it needs to for this kind of construct.
We've got our human analog right over there because I don't know if this gun actually has enough oomph to shoot a vaccine dart. It was designed to shoot tiny little BBs, and now we went ahead and stuck a 1/2-inch diameter syringe barrel onto that thing. Shoot tiny little BBs, and now we went ahead and stuck a 1/2-inch diameter.
Okay, is it just me or does it seem a little crooked?
Syringe barrel onto that thing. If it doesn't have enough oomph, that's fine. I've got a
Yeah,
CO2
very precise
paintball
weapon.
tank mod that I've got planned. So I'm gonna test this at the full 10 pumps and see if we can stick a dart in this guy, make him healthy. 3, 2, 1. Oh my god!
He has the same aim as me. For some reason. I don't know when I started, but for some reason I always aim at the dick high.
Oh, Jesus. It got my IKEA lamp behind him. And you can actually see that red is where Dart injected the lamp. My lamp got vaccinated. Clearly, the Daisy already has enough oomph, so we're not going to need any further modifications, but we are going to need better targets and someone with a backyard. Oh, no. This is my friend. But we are going to need better targets and someone with a backyard.
How? Oh, I think the shoes are already damaged, and he's just showing off this one. I thought somehow he shot his shoe several times.
No. This is my friend William Osmond. You had coronavirus, right, Will?
Did you tell them that you had coronavirus?
Yes, I did.
Did you tell them how you got coronavirus?
No, I didn't.
I gave it to Alan.
Yeah, that means it's safe for us to kiss. This is clear ballistics gel.
Ooh.
This way we're going to be able to see what it looks like when someone gets vaccinated on the inside. That's what a real man sounds like.
That's a huge difference.
I know 10 pumps is way too much, so this time I'm going to try like 5 pumps. Gotta cock it first. Fine. Alright. I don't actually know if this scope works, but 3, 2, 1.
It actually flies quite stable.
Oh my god, look at it. It's totally...
Did it work?
Yeah, it's injecting it into the...
Oh! Dude!
Wow.
There was actually a idea which didn't took off. I don't remember why exactly, but it was like, yeah, injections without needles. So they just pressurized the injection and shot it through your skin with the pressure. It worked, but it had some significant issues. But just the idea sounds horrible.
It like forced it in!
That's pretty brutal.
There's like a whole bubble of vaccine in there. Like, this dude is so vaccinated now. Don't shoot me! Don't shoot me now. Shoot him as close as you can to just like in between his pecs.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
What do you see?
This is crazy. Look, the streak, it's almost like a lightning bolt. Like the pressure formed this vein.
Whoa!
You see that? Like it shot through and created this like air needle through the torso. Look, I can like get it to go into the vein.
Dude, we like made this guy a blood vessel. We, like,
It's
gave him an
impressive how
artery.
far the pressure was able to just shoot and how thin it is. Obviously, with ballistic gel, usually it expands with pressure or pressure waves, but still, this is basically a needle for
There, it hits him,
further
makes like a
in.
nice ripple across his body.
Ripple, dude.
We just, it was on the wrong side, so you missed like the
Right. I
the
think
injection.
I think you need to get the phone really close to it. I want to see like a macro. I don't know
Just
if I can do this.
get shot yourself.
People are gonna be mad at my gun stance. Oh, that was so much better sound.
Oh, that was straight on. Oh my god, it totally worked. Look
you
at
can
that.
see it expanding.
It goes, oh, that's
Actually,
so good.
with a needle this long, hitting at that area, there is not a non-zero chance for your heart to be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, it's really. I volunteered to get
It's a
vaccinated
bit
with a
far
normal
left,
needle.
but still.
Please God, don't use this on me.
Oh.
Oh no, that was no good. It feels criminal that this works as well as it does.
Oh,
we got a squirter!
When you're going to the party, you're very excited.
I mean, this video was already going to be demonetized, so... See, because this way he's got like a nice big target around him in case we
Ooh,
miss.
hello. Nice to see you.
Who's taking my baby?
What?
Who's taking my baby?
We sort of have a little bit of a tradition
Nice
around
of you.
here.
The fun thing is, William Osman so the dude who just threw the baby into the dryer now has an actual baby. He has a child. But I don't think he threw it in the washer.
You are never going to be able to explain this to the monetization system.
I actually made another vaccine machine that uses a CO2 cartridge and a 3D printed dart magazine to rapid fire, but it doesn't get a build montage because of this. I'm gonna call out the different vaccines that this is doing. All right. Measles!
I always like to analyze how they actually built this, especially because it's built in a way where it's pretty much shit. That makes it even more interesting.
Oh, polio!
Wow, it's working real good.
No, you see the problem is...
It pinched it. Oh my god.
I assume there is too much space between this... yeah, the barrel is probably too big, so there is a little bit of a gap between the bullet loaded and the bullet still in the magazine, and if you push it back, it flips this out. So, I don't really know how you would get rid of that, and I guess without creating reload issues. There is a good chance if you just close up the gap and pretend it doesn't happen, it might work. just put glue here. If it's too hard to pierce, it will stay inside, probably.
And your hand is like right there.
Well, it just came out right where I'm holding it, but
that's the
not
best
like
engineering part. Just pretend the problem doesn't exist.
I'm just gonna shoot him where the vaccine will be most effective.
Where'd it go?
It exploded.
Oh wait, no, it embedded in his face.
Oh my god. Oh no, look.
I'm not sure how the eye is... why the eye is damaged here, but... I don't...
Look. Oh no.
They might have shot in their eyes
How did
also.
it get him twice? The butane, you can see the butane explode out. So this works. I could actually hunt anti-vaxxers with this.
Is this a... Is this a science experiment, or what have we...
It's definitely a social experiment. You know what the funny thing is about anti-vaxxers, baby? Is that they don't actually have a political affiliation. They're just as likely to be liberal or conservative. That means we got plenty of anti-vaxxers here in California. It turns out one of the few things that people can agree on in this country is that vaccines cause autism.
That thing is actually pretty interesting with the vaccines cause autism, since it was one study from a weird doctor which was debunked ages ago, but still people think it's real. There was no scientific base on that study, and I'm not sure if it was sponsored or anything from anti-vax, I don't know, whatever group, but it was so lackluster in regards of scientific procedure. No one really believed that there was a correlation, but still, people tried to convince some idiots, and it seems to work. Still.
These are my hunting grounds. Just a few blocks away is our one-stop shop for organic, homeopathic, non-FDA approved magic medicine, Rainbow Acres. I'm gonna see if I can change some anti-vaxxer...
I think this also came up in a South Park episode where they went to a shop like this, and they just sold trash. Obviously, there is some stuff you might be able to buy there, which is okay, but with herbal medicine, whatever, and shops like this, most of it, probably most of it is just a cash grab at best, or just trash.
Minds by showing them how well my rapid vaccinator works. Or at least that was the plan, and then when my camera woman showed up, this happened. Hold that thought. Shawnee, you just said something I think is really interesting. Can you say that again on camera for me, please?
I don't think you should treat people don't want to get vaccines or who are skeptical of vaccines like they're idiots.
Shawnee, they are idiots. Shawnee, they're not.
I like her haircut, to be honest.
We need to have immunity here, like herd immunity.
The haircut is.
You want to have this conversation on camera?
Yeah, I do actually. Why don't you set up a wide, and then I can hold this.
Okay. So, I want to be clear. For me, I don't have a good enough track record of our government taking care of us, of doctors taking care of us, for me to feel comfortable that I'm not being experimented on. Let's just look into history. You got the Tuskegee Project. You have a radiologist who decided to radiate his patients. So I don't feel comfortable at all putting anything in my body where I know that they don't care about me. And especially they don't care about me as a black woman.
That's actually also some interesting American law. They had quite a track record with experimenting on black people because they were like, yeah, their pain tolerance is different or whatever. And yeah, it was just racism. And yeah, it's not that big of a problem if they die back then. And probably some nowadays, but yeah, the American history has quite the issues in that regard. So yeah, somewhat understandable to be fair,
that's just how I
but
feel
still.
about it. Like until my medical system starts taking care of black women like they should, then it's just not for me. I don't trust it.
Well, okay, when you put it like that, I kind of feel like an asshole.
Because you are. Well, you're a dude who doesn't have to deal with this shit.
I've never had any problems like that, okay, at the doctor.
If I'm gonna go get a vaccine, I want to go where the white people go. Like, I'm serious.
If I get a vaccine and we go to like the fanciest Walgreens in Beverly Hills, you want to go get a vaccine with me, Shawnee?
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
I don't know, LA always looks like, I don't know, it looks pretty nice here, but if I'm not mistaken with LA, it's either the biggest dump ever, so everywhere trash, homeless people, everything, or it's super beautiful, super high-end neighborhood where you can't afford anything. It seems like there's no between in LA.
I've done much worse things than this in my entire life. You're done. Oh.
Nah, that's. Give me the good one.
That's actually a bit weird, since I think back then there was only one
So they gotta be
brand, the Pfizer.
I want the one you got. You better include this in the video. You tried to get for a different type of vaccine.
You're done. You're done. That wasn't so bad.
It sound right, boy.
So maybe vaccine gun was a bad idea. Honestly, this entire video is probably.
I want a vaccine gun like that. It sounds like lots of fun. But you're not allowed to have something like that here. You would probably be angry.
A bad idea. I don't know. How else are you supposed to reach people if you're not gonna,
And I would have to get a backyard, which I don't have.
Oh.
At least nothing big enough to use this.
Hi. Hey. You mind if I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you like getting shots?
No.
No, you don't. I have another question. Do you like Nerf guns? Yeah? My vaccine darts are 1/2 inch in diameter, and just by pure coincidence, that happens to be the exact same diameter as your standard Nerf dart. That means with some very slight modification.
Imagine showing up at a Nerf dart fight with, I don't know, 8-year-olds, and you come with those darts. You would be king.
You can transform a Nerf gun into a child-friendly vaccine
But
machine
you would also
trainer.
probably get
Come with me,
into some
children.
trouble.
Come this way.
But
Come to
that's
over
probably
here,
worth
please.
it.
This early exposure will ensure that these
Maybe.
kids learn to associate needles with fun, positive feelings and prevent them from becoming anti-vax.
But
It's
it seems
almost
like the Nerf gun
childhood
has
anti-vax.
not enough power. You could easily upgrade the power in a Nerf gun. That's actually something very common, where you just switch out the spring that uses the compresses the air to shoot out the Nerf dart. You just switch out the spring to something a bit more beefy, but
Vaccination.
It's
These
probably
girls,
still not
who are
enough.
very scared for some reason, are the future. And maybe in the future they'll learn that sometimes to convince someone, you just have to listen to them. Also, I paid Johnny $120 to get a flu vaccine with me. But if bribery with
Nice.
toys and money is what it takes to keep our most vulnerable friends safe, I think it's worth it.
So what do you two think?
Poor baby.
Do you like vaccines
And
now?
I think
it's
this was filmed before the maybe. I'm not sure if this is a hole or it's just a few pixels missing.
So what do you two think? Do you like vaccines now? No. 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 God damn!
Oh. I want a gun like that. That sounds like lots of fun. But in Australia, you are not allowed to have fun. It makes sense with weapon law and so on, but still, Americans might have lots of problems with gun violence, but at least they have guns to have fun with. It's probably not a good payoff, but still. Taser gun. I'm not sure. We could B-gun. B-gun? Yeah, let's go to another gun, I guess. German.
When I was 17 months old, I was stung by a bee at a picnic, and ever since I've wanted to make a gun that...
What the hell is he eating?
17 months old, I was stung by
That's
a bee
not a
at
chicken
picnic,
leg, is it?
And ever since...
That seems like a pork leg. That's huge. And it seems like it was cut in here.
Since I've wanted to make a gun that shoots bees. I don't mean a gun that shoots bees, I mean like a gun that shoots bees, like to get them away from me. But when I looked up how to turn bees into ammo, all I found was this military research.
So bees
That
can be
is
used
actually
to detect
pretty interesting.
explosives.
This
It's
is
not just
amazing.
military research, it's also nowadays used in airports and such, since bees are apparently so much better in detecting explosives and drugs than dogs or whatever, so or other mechanical devices. So they are very, very well liked to be used in airports and such. And also, it's a super small thingy. That this apparatus is much easier to use than a dog, I guess. But you have to train every bee on their own and only to one specific stimulant. So this bee is, I don't know, for cocaine, and this, if that bee smells it, yeah, you know it is here. So it's in some way better, but also worse, since you have to train every bee singular for each chemical you try to find. But you could also just know, yeah, if the bee smells that, you know it is that, probably.
I had no idea bees were this smart. Why doesn't the army train bees to sting people who smell like explosives?
Oh, I
Yeah.
guess because that's technically a war.
Actually, it was used somewhat in medieval times. They literally threw beehives at people or jars full of insects down a wall to repel attackers. Yeah, nowadays they just banned the fun. You are not allowed to use biological warfare.
No, But I hate bees, and I need a gun because I doxed myself 32 seconds ago. So the first thing I tried was taking the trap tube off this toy bug vacuum and attaching it to a 1000 PSI air valve and a CO2 BB gun cartridge.
Those CO2 cartridges are pretty powerful.
But that
They are
didn't
scary.
really look like a bee gun, so I stuffed the whole thing into a toy fart gun that I think looks really cool.
Yeah, this looks like something that shoots bees.
That way, when I open this valve, the bee should get shot out the
Top
front
end
like a bee.
engineering.
And to make sure I don't get in trouble with PETA, I made this cushion target for the bee to gently get shot into.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty safe. Let's try and shoot this intruder in 3, 2, 1. Oh my god! Wait, where'd it go? That was a lot more than I thought it was gonna be.
Poor bee. Even though
I
it's a
saw
hornet,
one
I
over
think.
Here. Oh god. This is him. This is for sure him.
Also in LA, most of the grass is just plastic. I noticed this for a while, but yeah, in LA they have very limited water supply, so you are sometimes not even allowed to water your plants, so your yard. So most of the gardens have just fake grass, which is a bit sad.
It shot him too fast, I think. I actually feel really bad about this.
After reviewing the footage, I found that the first problem was that the CO2 accelerated Beatrice from 0 to 54 miles per hour in about 4 milliseconds, or 681 Gs.
Yeah, that's
Beatrice
healthy.
might have even survived that if she hadn't steered herself into a rock.
Yeah, it's her
I
fault.
just want to make a cool animal video, like when
She ran into the rock. He didn't do anything. Just blame other people.
Mark Rober tortured those squirrels.
And I don't want to be canceled, so I've decided that I'm never, ever making another bee gun ever again with CO2. And instead, I'm going to make a new bee gun with this 1 kilowatt electric fan. The plan is simple. Big fan blow bee soft so no bee explode. So I used
Yeah, makes
Onshape,
sense.
a free browser-based CAD platform, to model an adapter for
CAD platform. I guess Onshape is probably alright, but those kind of 3D modeling softwares, I absolutely despise 3D modeling. It is so troublesome.
the fan so that it would fit into this gun-shaped pipe. Then I cut a few more sections of pipe and fit them together to make this thing, which, looking at it now, I realize is just a leaf blower.
Nobody's thought of inventing one of these before.
All I need now are new bees to load into this thing. I decided the most humane way to get them was to pose as an exterminator with a sail on...
Okay, bees. Yeah, I assume this is not a good advertisement. Bees only. Give me the bees. Yeah. No questions asked.
Craigslist to guarantee the gun is only shooting bees that were going to die anyways.
Oh, there we go. Okay. What were you going to do to these bees before I showed up?
Oh, I was gonna murder them.
Something about these bees didn't look right to me, but I had to pretend I was a real expert and not some weirdo trying to make a bee gun. So I borrowed some of my client's Tupperware to trap the hive and gave it my best shot.
Oh my god, oh my god. Oh yeah, they're really mad. So I've gotten this far. I don't really know what to do now.
He lost his Monkey D. Luffy
They're
head,
gonna come
so
out, dude.
he's in
Are
trouble.
you just gonna flip it? Okay. Oh, alright, get the lid.
This dude has more balls. He doesn't even have a suit on. Just barehanding the hornets, bees.
Oh no. There! We got him! Wow, I really shouldn't have dropped him.
Thank you. Job well done.
Wow, this is... I hate this.
For some reason, these bees are acting very angry. I even
Yeah,
tried to
who
calm them
does?
down with Vivaldi's Four Seasons Violin Concerto in E major, but they don't seem to care. And I'm starting to worry that as soon as the bees come out of the gun, there's actually nothing stopping them from just turning around and stinging me instead of the guy I'm aiming at. And I'm pretty sure they know my... from
This
just
AI art is weird. This is for sure photoshopped in, but I don't know. AI art still looks like a fever dream.
turning around and stinging me instead of the guy I'm aiming at. And I'm pretty sure they know my face because I destroyed them.
Yeah, recognizing faces. Actually, a lot of animals can do it, and also there was a study done by so children actually can differentiate between animals better than adults. So a little child can differentiate, for example, several different dogs that look quite similar, because I don't know, I think it was because they still hadn't developed I don't know what. And that's also, yeah, we get used to human faces. If you grew up around those animals, you might develop the same skill, if you want to call it that. But overall, apparently children can do it quite easily.
Their house.
So, we're going to teach the bees that I am good. No, we're going to teach the bees that I should not be eaten.
Welcome to the Alan Pant Institute for Specially Gifted Bees, to learn to not attack my face and to attack bad people's faces.
I was going to train the bees to only go after Vladimir Putin, but my printer ran out of ink, and so I had to use the only picture that I had in my house, William Osman.
The lesson plan is simple. My face has a little plate under it filled with quinine.
A very bitter substance. Bees hate it, but it shouldn't kill them.
And William Osman's face has a cast iron seared T-bone steak topped with fresh rosemary and organic Manuka honey. I haven't told him he's volunteered for this yet, but it's the only way to guarantee that I won't get stung in the next test.
Simmer down now, students. They're very mad at me for some reason, even though I'm trying to give them an education.
Theoretically, the bees should learn to avoid my face and become attracted to Will's face, but right now they just seem confused.
What the hell did he put in the... Is that dog food? It looks like dog food. It looks disgusting.
Attracted to Will's face, but right now they just seem confused.
These bees are idiots. This is where the food and the sustenance is.
Yeah, and here is the face of the person who destroyed the house.
And this is where the bitter repellent is. Yeah, there we go. There's one smart guy. There's a smart bee. Oh, okay. Well,
so I carefully observed the bees over the next few days and took notes with the FN Pen 2.0, which is a really cool solid metal pen designed by my friend Ryan Kung. It's the perfect addition to any EDC kit because the FN Pen can actually swap between a pencil tip, a pen tip.
I don't know, this seems quite useless, to be honest.
And even a tungsten carbide tip for...
A tungsten carbide bit for... I don't know, use in your car in an accident. How the hell would you switch out the tip to the tungsten carbide while you are in an accident or something? That's just a gimmick at most, but it's funny.
That is actually super impressive. So big shout out to my friend Ryan and the FN Pen 2.0.
And you can use the code ALLEN10 at stabbylabs.com to get 10% off
That's a
your
nice
entire
name.
purchase. So while I was doing that ad, the bees got
Labs.
some alone time to learn the assignment. And when I came back to check on them...
uh-oh. I'm not very popular with bees, but you know who is? William Osman. Oh, look, they love him.
Oh, fucking God, I cannot believe that actually worked.
So finding out the bees were actually very smart made
Very
me feel
confident in
even
his own
dumber
work.
when I realized my gun doesn't work. At first I...
If he made a... If you made a latch over here, it would... Would it work? I don't know, it would probably create a vortex over here so it wouldn't suck in as much as it might do.
Having a hole on the side of the barrel would suck bees into it, but instead
No.
it closed them.
Yeah, I guess if you install a latch like here, you might be able to reduce the upwards thrust.
Away. This is known as the Venturi effect not working. But luckily, right then, Emily the engineer published a video where she builds her own
I'm not
bee
sure if
gun
he
with
explains
compressed
what it
air
is.
blowing into a bee jar. And that gave me a great idea. to steal her idea. Since there's so much extra air blowing anyways, I can redirect some of it with this bypass tube.
Okay, I don't think he's explaining the Venturi effect. It's basically if you blow air through here, the air usually tries to drag stuff that's around it with it, and if you have a connection down here, it tries to pull it up and further, but usually it's a small hole. It's very often used in spray guns and that kind of stuff. So you have the pressure here, it blows out, and over here is the paint or whatever, or I think sandblaster and such also use the same principle, and that carries the stuff with. It's also, there are vacuums that use a similar principle, which work quite well, if I'm not mistaken, since you separate the pressure and the dirt from the get-go. But yeah, he messed up, I guess.
Air through the
but this is a
into the hole so that it can
workaround that
suck
should
at the same time,
work
just like your
okay,
mom.
I
We want
guess.
the tissue papers to get sucked up and then out at Vladimir Putin over there. Sucky, sucky in 3, 2, 1. Oh, yes! Yes! Oh my God, yes! That actually totally worked. That is the exact sucking that I want to see.
Yeah, he likes to see the
So
sucking.
now that the bee gun
I
is going
guess.
to work, I just have to tell Will that he's the target. I told him to meet me just outside San Francisco dressed like a referee, because referees kind of look like bees.
Come with me.
okay.
Come this way. So this is Mark's nuts. This is his nut orchard.
He's got huge nuts.
Yeah, he's actually right over there. Hey, Mark. Yeah, so this is where he grows his nuts.
Whoa. They're smaller than I thought they'd be.
I've secretly
Yeah,
been
funneling
training
someone's
bees
nuts.
to attack your face for the last couple of days.
Okay.
And I built a gun to blow them at you.
Wait, why can't you just let them out of a box?
Oh, they're alive.
Oh, no, 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 no. Those don't look like normal bees.
Don't they?
No, those look like
hornets.
Like wasps or hornets.
I did think they were kind of long, yeah. So then I just take the foil off.
Wait, this is like
This gun, the design, I don't know, it's not very refined, I would say, to be honest.
Not a valve or anything. Do you want a countdown?
Most of the yellow tape is just there to
Yeah? Well, I think
look
it's gonna come out
more
then.
like
You
a
ready?
bee.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Bee gun. 3, 2, 1. Where'd it go?
Oh, he came out like 40 miles an hour. This is the slowest gun ever. It takes like 5 minutes to hit you.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna try and shoot it again. Okay. 3, 2,
As a
1.
civilian, I think you wouldn't be charged for war crimes or something if you... Actually, that might work. If you basically had a accidentally trap where, I don't know, a beehive falls down on a person breaking into your house, it wouldn't be technically a crime. Bee-based home defense. I think I'm onto something. We just have to train bees to recognize, I don't know, laser pointer, laser, and hone in on the target and attack it. If you could do that would be quite effective, I guess, as a deterrent. And it would be hard to give you any fault for the bees just attacked him. You are not usually not able to see those kind of lasers. So, and who would think that bees would be used as a home defense turret? I want them. I want the bee power from Bioshock. Basically that.
All right, now see if he goes back towards me or if he goes towards you. I mean, I definitely shot the bees out, so it's a bee gun. But once they came out, it kind of seems like they're just happy to be outside. I don't really think they're gonna go after me or Will. You want to try shooting me, maybe?
Oh my god, they're everywhere.
Are they? Who are they going towards? Will.
The poor bee.
I hate this.
so much. Oh no, get your butt.
Recognizes your face, dude.
No. Oh my god. Oh, please don't sting
You didn't land on me. Oh. It didn't work. He didn't even sting you once.
I was pretty bummed out that none of us got stung by bees, but then I remembered that Mark Rober hates bees.
Hey, Mark, can I show
I
you
don't
my
know,
new
he seems like a
invention?
person who would hate bees.
Now, Mark, if you could stand there for about 5 minutes, I'm gonna try and shake one of these bad boys out. Wait, there's really... Oh! Shoot him again. Oh! Yeah! I'll make a tiny gap. Shoot the bees. Shoot the bees in. Oh no. That we died. Now we've made him upset. All right, I give up. There we go. Mark Rover, please. Just. What do you? Mark, no, Mark. You know how long it took me to build this gun, Mark. Don't. No.
You can tell he's not really trying to break it.
I told you.
You can see they just took it. Maybe something over here broke, but they just took it apart. I'm pretty sure Microbo doesn't want to be known as a animal killing monster, even though it's just bees. But he seems like the kind of person who would take his image in that regard, or just the fact that he doesn't want to kill them. I don't know. Very serious. Understandable, but still. Also, maybe not destroying some stuff like this. Yeah, destroying a motor, fan, whatever. Yeah, that's not good.
I don't like bees. Oh, no, the bees are all getting
That's a
away.
cool emoji.
Well, I think
That's scary.
I think they live here
Someone's
now.
soul was put into a reward cal.
Bees were now free to roam around Mark Rober's nuts forever, hundreds of miles away from my house at 17418 Los Angeles, California.
I never
And even
really
though
looked
Mark
at
had just
the
destroyed
YouTube
months of my
emotes.
hard work, in a way,
Oh dear.
it also
Yeah,
helped
we-
me heal decades of insect-related trauma by replacing it with new trauma. And anyways, all the damages were covered by today's sponsor, Opera Browser.
So thanks to Opera.
Okay, I don't know. This just reminded me to scroll through the YouTube emotes, and some of them are fun and okay, but some of them are just a bit weird. Sooner or probably later, I might be able to add some for my own, but yeah, that's gonna be a while till then. And I to be honest, I don't really know what I would add. Yeah, some of them are a bit traumatized looking. We did some electrocution, some bee gun. More bee guns. William Osman, this dude, he's relatively smart, but also a huge dumbass. What the hell? What the hell is that? The emote supposed to be? It looks like a toast man trapped in a phone. A new game. Guess what the YouTube emote is? Since I can't really see it that well. Yeah. Maybe someday. I think you need 500 subs for the thing. 1 second. Somewhere. I saw it somewhere. I think at 500 subs you are allowed to add your own emotes. Maybe I'm gonna do an emote drawing stream if I do them by myself. I am not sure. Maybe I ask a friend or so. I'm not a good artist. What else? This one is fantastic. I like this one. And they still look somewhat delicious. I don't know. It's probably brain damage. And for some reason my ads are all German, even though I think I set everything to English. But I don't know.
They do the same. Why are cars so expensive? They do the same thing they did 100 years ago, but the price keeps going up and up and up. I think it's because auto manufacturers keep adding new parts that we don't need just so they can charge us more money. An $18 a month subscription, adding new parts that we don't need.
I think he literally went there just to film this. And stood in the middle of the street. Judging from where he is at.
Just so they can charge us more money. An $18 a month subscription to use the heated seats that are already installed in your car, that is genius.
That's actually real. BMW somehow convinced people to subscribe to a service which allows you to turn on the heating element in the car. So everything would work, but you have to subscribe to just turn it on. I don't know how you convince people to do that.
How did you come up with such a good idea? And do we really need lane sensing technology? Sure, it might save a couple hundred lives per year, but I'd rather save a couple $100 buying a car. And don't even get me started on doors. The doors come off of this, right?
Yeah, all of them.
They just pop off though?
Yeah, the doors all come off.
But it is totally legal to drive without the doors off.
Yeah, of course.
How much less does the car cost if I buy it without any of the doors?
It comes with it, unfortunately.
Like you can't. Someone should build a better car. A car that is just the bare minimum. An inexpensive transportation device that doesn't do all the extra. So I did some research, and it turns out building a car is really hard. I think it might be a smarter idea to tackle this problem from the other direction. Building a car is really hard.
This image is fantastic. I saw it. This one is not really that popular. Okay, I just recognized that as the stomach. But I saw this one a few times. There's even a worse one than this. But I don't know. You should show that to little children. I think that will help them, I don't know, get some drama.
Might be a smarter idea to tackle this problem from the other direction.
Oh, this one is the one I meant. The slightly worse one.
Really hard. I think it might be a smarter idea to tackle this.
This is pretty scary. This is basically Matrix, but maybe worse. I don't like Cars. So the movie Cars.
Problem from the other direction.
But there's one problem. I don't have enough room in my garage for an experiment of this scale. So I rented a parking lot, hired an elite team of scientists, and bought 2 cars.
Have you ever done any drag races in this car?
Yeah. You put it in gear and floor it and go.
How many parts can we take off the car before it stops working?
You can remove a lot of parts.
With confidence, I had made the right decision, and thousands of dollars in the hole. It was
Yeah,
time for my team of scientists to
2
start
cars,
building the car of the future.
I guess they are shit, but it's still probably at least 5K for those 2 cars.
How did you get in there? Oh, have you been in there since last night?
I'm pretty sure this is a Hangover reference.
I'm so sorry. I forgot.
And by car of the future, I mean cars of the future. But no, seriously, I'm still traumatized from Mr. Beast's sport game, so I got 2 cars just in case something happens to one of them.
We didn't have to hit each other. We gotta strategize. I don't really know what kind of strategy yet.
What's our team name?
What's cool and like car related?
What's the heaviest thing in a car?
The engine.
The engine.
Oh, the gas.
The gas.
Hot rods.
Oh, the sunroof. We definitely
Actually, the gasoline in a car. If we assume it's around the same density as water, and I think a normal car has around 50 liters of gasoline, so 50 kilos, that's actually quite a chunk.
The ghost of Vin Diesel.
That's Paul Walker.
Oh, right. The ghost of Paul Rudd.
Vinny and the Diesels.
Yeah, I like that. It's kind of badass.
Are you guys strategizing?
No.
Coming up with a team name.
You guys ready? Oh my god! And you're like doing a boxing match? You can't even break a car window?
Yeah, car windows are super strong.
Wait, there's only a couple rules. Don't break the front windshield and leave at least one side mirror.
Google told me that's what's legally required.
I want to do that.
Other than that, the sign.
That would be such a fun afternoon. Just breaking a car apart with. I know some of their channels, and they seem all like fun people to hang around and do that kind of stuff. This would be, I don't know.
Scientists' goal is to remove as many parts as possible. We already know doors serve no purpose. It's not like you're gonna fall out if you're wearing a seatbelt. And does anyone
at least one
know
of
what a hood is for?
them probably got hurt.
Engine? Does it increase aerodynamics, or is it just an excuse for them to charge more money?
Me and Alan go way back to the early Tungsten Cube video days. We've hung out 3 times in real life ever, but through his YouTube channel, I know him very well. He doesn't know shit about me though.
Oh, yeah? You got it? Body muscle! Yeah! You know where they put their socket wrench? Go by Sun Tzu Art of War. To take the resources.
Sun Tzu's Art of War is actually a pretty good book.
Removed. Look at that.
There we go.
Dude, we hit money. We hit money. Look at this. A huge loss.
It slowly dawned upon
I
me that
I still can't fathom how it is allowed
all the money on the cars and brand new power
to
tools,
destroy a
and
car
now
like
running
this
out
and
of
still
time.
drive
I'm
it.
not trying to say we used our time efficiently. I'm just trying to come up with a good transition to talk about the sponsor of today's video.
This video is sponsored by HelloFresh, a weekly meal delivery service that Caretaker and I have been subscribed to 2 years
I literally
now.
have
Today's
that
meal we're going to cook
a
is
head like that.
Firehouse cheeseburgers. All 10 ingredients for this meal are organized and pre-portioned.
If you don't like beef, replace it with ground turkey. And if you don't like turkey, get rid of it and replace it with cat meat.
Okay.
They even have cat meat. We were eating out way too much, and it's a lot of work. HelloFresh, we have to cook it.
The prep time free meal they offer is great. We've tried a ton of different recipes and learned about all sorts of different food that I never would have tried.
Okay,
to cook
that
on my own.
burger
Go to
doesn't
HelloFresh.com
really
and use William Osmond 16
look that
for
good, to be
16
honest.
free meals across 7 boxes and 3 surprise extras. Like one time they sent me a mini cheesecake. If you guys have more of those, I would like more.
Huh?
My
I
name's
want
Jeff.
cheesecake.
I have literally taken
I have
nothing
cheesecake
off
ice
this
cream,
card,
but
and
it's
I can't
not
even
good.
find the wrench to do it.
14? Where's the 14?
Probably a 15. Someone probably has it. Damn it.
Sun Tzu Art of War.
Is it a 15? No, it's not. It's a 13?
Take the resources.
Where's the medium-sized wrench?
Alan stole it.
Alan stole it from our kit. Alan! You can't steal the wrenches from our kit.
To get revenge on Alan, I stole his wrench and peed in his Gatorade.
Yeah, Gatorade looks disgusting, I guess.
No. Holy crap! There's 65 cents in here! And some Mancala beads!
What's our goal? What are we pulling off? Is
Doors,
everything?
Everything we can, right?
Doors.
Doors? Okay.
I've removed something.
Actually, something like this. So, car parts, they seem quite heavy, but the metal they are made of, it's super thin. You can't even believe how thin it actually is. It's probably not that heavy.
They're really strong.
Alan's ripping off the red part. He wants to remove the metal because it's real heavy. And I think it's a good move. Right now he's using a sawing device.
Do we need this?
Yeah, sawing device, also known as saw.
We don't need this. Why is this still there?
Heave.
Oh, wait. Hey.
That 10 skips. Wait, do we need a license plate?
Oh, we need the license plate.
We're going to be driving these cars on city streets, so it's extremely important we don't accidentally remove a critical part.
The balls you would have to drive around with those cars. In Austria, if you ripped out, I don't know, one door or the hood, you would be fucked.
We don't want to have a run-in with the police. Michael wouldn't last 30 seconds in juvie.
We don't want to be driving illegally.
We need that. Okay.
kind of wedge it in there.
Jake and Michael were struggling to remove the door.
Oh yeah, that's.
But I have a genius solution that I know is going to impress them.
Being able to do this would be already a very fun day. Since when are you ever able to just ram a car door into something?
Efficient use of time. And, it went worse than I thought.
Yeah. Right now, the plan is to turn this into a pickup truck. We've already gotten rid of half of the roof, and I think if we just make a clear cut down the middle here, we'll be able to put lumber in the back seat of this.
I like his Shrek shirt.
All right, we got ourselves a pickup truck.
Those aren't the brake wires.
Oh, you know, it might be. Be careful.
You don't
no,
need
we're good.
brakes.
I think those are the brake light lines right there. Oh, we can try it. Well, I may have cut through the brake light, so now I'm gonna figure out how to turn them back on.
The red car is no longer street legal now that the brake lights are broken. However, the silver car is quickly transforming into the car of the future, until Jake made a horrifying discovery. We had accidentally cut through the side airbags and are afraid they might...
Airbags are actually super scary. If that thing blows up near you, so if you're close enough to be caught in the fabric blast, they can actually break stuff. There are videos of people where they put an airbag under I don't know, a seat or whatever, wait till someone sits down and then blow it up. They actually get flung into the air. Airbags are scary.
Explode.
There's an airbag right here, and we're all very scared of it. I don't think it'll go off, but I also am not 100% certain with that claim.
Side airbags are not mandated in the United States, which means these are just an extra cost being passed off on the consumer.
What is mandated in the US? If you can drive a car, that's half of itself missing. Nothing is mandated.
Profits.
So I don't think it's gonna go off.
Well, if there's no power to it.
Do my best with a hacksaw.
Luckily, we were able to safely remove it using a hammer.
Yes! Yes!
I didn't know that for the longest time, but there is actually wood in here, at least in some cars. I didn't expect that, but they have a wood inner lining of them.
Yes! Yes! Look at this is what happens when you take your time and go slow.
God, I'm so glad I'm not you guys right now.
Well, we can go pick up.
Go slow.
Like I said,
God, I'm so glad I'm not you guys
second.
right now.
At least one injury. If you do that kind of stuff, if you will get the one more. You get injured for sure. Ooh. Thanks for your daily tribute. I thought since people asked for that kind of stream, I obliged and went for something like one of my favorite content on YouTube. Let's call it science YouTube, where it's basically idiots, which are mostly relatively good, educated, and not really idiots, but still idiots, making stuff. Yeah, I know, but people wanted something like this. A few days ago, I don't remember how many. 4 days ago, I did a anime tier list stream as well, so I thought, yeah, why not? Yeah, several people asked for it, so I obliged. But I'm not sure how often I'm gonna do something like this. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna go for... maybe I ask on Discord for suggestions or something like that. But yeah.
Well, we can go pick up lunch. Yeah, you're gonna get us something too.
Yeah, so a bit more variety, I guess. Yeah, it is just more comfortable to play a game. I can understand. More variety is cool, and it's also cool to make, but it's something different. Making something different is weird. Playing a game and just talking about whatever shit is just very comfortable. It's something I'm used to.
Right? They're gonna get us something, right?
Even though this kind of content is supposed to be the lowest branch ever,
Seems
but
like a perfect opportunity to test our new whip.
Actually looks perfectly normal. But when I
and I'm still, if you were in Australia with a car like this, they would probably shoot you. That's that kind of illegal. In Australia, if a little bit of your car is broken, you have to fix it or you're basically fucked. In America, apparently not. America, yeah, half the car is missing. Yeah, go for it.
I love having a nice cold air and then cranking the heater, like windows down, roof off, front off.
Only a few minutes into the drive, we were
But
already
see,
catching
they actually made it super safe. They put some duct tape over here. Maybe not really. They put some duct tape over here, probably because someone hurt themselves on the sharp metal edge.
Nice cold air and then cranking the heater, like windows down, roof off, front off.
Only a few minutes into the drive, we were already catching the attention of other drivers on the road.
I'm not trying to turn fast because Jake's gonna fall out the f***ing back.
Unfortunately, not every driver on the road was excited to see the future.
Oh, film.
I'm talking about the police.
We're f***ed, right? Is he following us?
How are we gonna get ourselves out of this mess? Look how mad that guy looks. Even our camera crew in the chase car was freaking out, not knowing what to do if we get pulled over, until we realized he was pulling someone else over.
That is that kind of luck
The police did not care
you would never expect.
Protect and serve, baby.
This means our prototype is officially street legal. Now all we have to do is convince someone in the auto industry to endorse our design. And lucky for us, not far from here lives an automotive legend to endorse our design.
I just realized.
And lucky for us,
I hope the belt is fixed in here, but if not, you are probably in trouble if you're in an accident. Okay, so nice that you showed up on your short break, but yeah, I hope you have a nice day, and it's not that overrun today. Actually, weekend is probably worse since the people are going out for drinks and stuff. So I hope you have a somewhat okay shift.
not far from here lives an automotive legend. Someone who understands the importance of innovation. Someone who has amassed a fortune selling cars. Someone who agreed to give us 15 minutes of his time to try and make a deal.
Where do we pull in?
Pull up to the Tesla.
I still don't know how we managed to make this happen, but I haven't been this nervous to talk to somebody since my dad got out of prison.
How much can we sell this bad boy for? Is it worth anything?
No.
Those two dudes literally look like someone who sells used cars. They look sketchy.
Little work. What? Like what? You tell me. You need the rules. Needs the door. Needs the phone.
And I don't know, the balls William Osman has to just drive up to someone like this and make content like this. He is more, let's say, a science YouTuber, but he's also friends with iDubbbz, and so he often does skits and more content more like iDubbbz, if you know him, which I don't know. I would never do that kind of stuff. It would be so uncomfortable.
So no deal? $300?
Even if you pay me $1,000 to take it.
Yeah, I guess we should leave now. We have done it. We have achieved our goal. By reducing the number of parts on the car, we were able to significantly reduce its price. Let's go buy food.
I'm surprised that the radio works at all, since the antenna should be here.
I'd kill for a hamburger. Let's pull over. Let's go. Let's go in and out.
Let's get hamburgers for everybody.
Drive through?
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
The only thing more American than buying an overpriced car is a good old-fashioned cheeseburger.
Hi.
Hello. Can we get like this 10 cheeseburgers?
Like 10, maybe 12. Like
12 cheeseburgers?
She was professional.
Considering
She
isn't usually there just the booth speaker? Why do they have a person standing outside? That sounds miserable.
I would have lost my
like there's something
and
wrong
not
with
really
your car.
efficient.
I forgot my credit card. Sorry, Michael.
Okay. Oh.
What? Or what? What?
Yeah, please, yeah. Like a handful. Yeah, please. Don't let that fall out onto the freeway, Will. Wind in my hair, glass in my ass crack.
Hey, what happened? What happened? What are you doing?
A very good car.
What?
Poor parking lot.
What happened to your car?
We were trying to fix the brake lights, right? But we couldn't find all the wires, so we had to cut into the car to find the wires, and we accidentally hit the fuel line, and so we moved the fuel tank to the front, and so then we had to figure out where the brake line was, so we cut a little bit more, and then we accidentally cut the car in half.
We can't drive the car. We won't drive like that.
It's a front wheel drive.
Oh.
I'm surprised they somehow managed to still connect the fuel line from up here. I assume this might be the fuel line, but I'm not sure. This is sketchy, but if I were there, I would be on board 100%.
Oh my god! It looks like a school bus came and just sheared it in half. Do the turn signals work? Test the turn signals. And it works.
This is not a safe car.
I want to try a car.
It really tears ass.
I can feel the glass on my butt. Whoa.
It looks actually very fun to drive, I guess. The way it drifts around.
Oh my god! This is amazing! It just goes in circles. I got it.
We won!
Even more so, he's relatively small. And the gas tank, so he's lower because of this, and the gas tank is obscuring his vision. He can't see anything, I'm pretty sure.
Let her rest! Look at the gas! Oh, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off! Get out! It was, did you see the gasoline spraying out? That's the wiper fluid. Yeah.
I want to double check something, but yeah.
Yeah,
What's going on?
fluid, Michael.
People ask for that kind of content, so I obliged. And I like people ask for erection content, and I like this kind of YouTube niche of, let's call it science YouTube or engineering. And yeah, so
You're gonna dent our car!
This
This is science.
This car yesterday. Our judge, Dax Flame, is going to pick a winner. None of us know who it is yet. The red car. No! This is bullshit.
And yeah, this is high-end science. Just a few people sawing cars in half and driving around.
Everyone. My grandma died.
That's my kind of
She
science.
left me this industrial embroidery machine that I now keep in my garage so I can make more clothes for Cat Warehouse. She's actually not dead.
You could sew your
Not
fingers.
gonna find that funny. We got all sorts of stuff. Where's the swim trunks? Where did we put the swim trunks? Swim trunks. Look at, he's drowning. How cute. This hat that we bought with someone else's art on it that then we embroidered our own art onto. The sequel to I'm in Debt. I Got Fired. And we've restocked items that we ran out of long ago. Like everyone's favorite professional shirt. Crabs smoking crack.
That shirt actually would be funny. Crabs smoking crack. If you show up with that shirt, I wouldn't wear it. I don't know. I don't have the balls for it, and I don't really like shirts with print on the stuff. But it has style, I guess.
And there's one special item that I'm not allowed to show you because YouTube will ban me, probably. I don't actually know. It's a hat with a picture of my cat's on it. I'm gonna make another one right now. I think I'm only gonna make like a handful of these because it's really bad. No, it ripped again. String keeps breaking. God, why?
The sad thing is, I'm pretty sure if I don't know how many he made. If he put them on a shop, I'm pretty sure people would buy the cap with his the cat's asshole on it.
Why is this so hard? I have no idea how to use this machine.
And also, if I do this again, I might take suggestions for what kind of niche or whatever I'm gonna go for. So if you have an idea, you can let me know. On Discord is a suggestions channel. If you have a good idea. He also has a second channel, which is basically him being even worse. So yeah, let's go for the brain rot. And yeah, German. I think I turned something on so the ads don't have no sound, which is a bit more handy if you have it running in the background for music or stuff.
Gary was force feeding me different French fries he cooked in all sorts of different oils, and I woke up right before he was able to finish cooking the Pennzoil SAE 10W30.
Healthy.
I really want to know what it tastes like. So today's video, we're going to start cooking French fries in different oils. I don't know, maybe...
I should probably do that. Just making my nightmares into content. No, just my nightmares, if I have them. I like nightmares, but they are a bit probably too problematic. Too much blood and I don't know.
Maybe they're worse. Does anyone know why they have buttons on both sides? Maybe, you know what, we'll do a mix.
Because
we'll
it
do
looks
half
good.
Right, one left. So I was thinking we could test that.
If you're actually serious, yeah, there is healthy oil. I had to sit through a lot of nutrition classes, so I'm not a nutritionist, whatever you would call it, but I had to sit through probably at least 6 years of nutrition classes plus cooking. So yeah, there is healthy oil, but for example, avocado oil, I'm pretty sure that's avocado oil, is relatively healthy. Rule of thumb is everything that's hardened, so butter, whatever, is usually not that healthy. Plus, everything from animals is also usually not that healthy. Then there is also the slight issue with heating it up. So olive oil, for example, is relatively healthy, but if you heat it, it becomes very unhealthy. But usually something like walnut oil, olive oil, I didn't have the whole chart memorized, but those kind of oils pumpkin seed oil. Those kind of oils are actually healthy, and oil itself is not that big of a problem. So fat is not, if it's in regards of weight gain, fat is not your biggest problem. Carbohydrates, so sugar and that kind of stuff, is more of a problem. But yeah, rule of thumb, animal product, so animal fat and oil is not that good for you.
Some
Very
canola
simply,
oil that I found in the back of Kevin's truck. Then we go a little bit weirder with some avocado oil. Hit it with some
nutrition
liquefied coconut
class
oil.
with a
This shit just
VTuber.
completely liquefied. I think you use this stuff for like popcorn. Look at stir fry. Yeah, you can totally deep fry with that. I don't see why not. With lard, what is this?
I think I still have the
beef
school
lard,
books.
probably. Butter, right? Mineral oil and Pennzoil SAE 10W30. 5 different
Mineral oil is
And-
actually funny. This is this kind of stuff people use for their PCs. There are PCs that are completely, basically watertight boxes, and they put in oil. So the hard drive, everything is covered with oil as a cooling system, which works quite well. And they put in this oil since it doesn't conduct electricity and doesn't go bad and stuff. So they have the complete PC submerged basically in the inside.
And Pennzoil.
But
SAE
I don't even want to
10W30.
think about how to switch out
5 types of
anything
french fries
if it's
with
broken. Since
7 types.
if the contact has oil on it, it wouldn't really work that well. So you would have to drain everything, clean everything, and then get it working again.
The oils. Does it make a difference what oil you cook your french fries in? I don't think it does. Got my tiny little pot, 2 cups of oil. I put the lid on. It's getting warmer, 113. Here's my potatoes.
Considering all the oils he is using, the best one is probably the first one he's using.
Stupid. Soaked them in water for like, I don't know, 2 hours, and supposedly that gets rid of
For,
all the fat. I've made french
frying.
fries once in my life, so a lot of this is just.
I'm not sure how heat resistant avocado oil is, but
very hot
I
oil,
assume it's not
very-
very.
Okay, it's too hot with it. This will cool it down, I think. Oh!
And yeah,
All right, a little too hot.
oil is
Trick
quite
to
a
make
fire
them
hazard.
Perfectly crispy French fries is to cook them twice, or that's what people say. I don't have time for that. It's gonna take like 10 minutes each batch, and I gotta do 7. That's like an hour. We're gonna be cooking French fries for an hour straight. I've got less 2 minutes left, and we're starting to get kind of a nice sort of golden yellow color. We want them to be a little bit darker, I think. Okay. That's a pretty mean looking French fry right there. They're toasties,
Yeah,
they're fresh off
it's
the
a
grill.
normal French fry.
You know what? I'm just gonna do no salt. It's not a good French fry, but it is a French fry. Like I'm also not a huge fan of French fries. Let's salt it up. Let's see. This is gonna immediately make it better. If I
How
went to a
can you not
restaurant
be a
and the
fan of
fries
French
came out like
fries?
this, I don't
It's
think I would be
basically
impressed,
perfect.
But I wouldn't even think twice.
It's
about it.
not-
Yeah, these are French fries.
it's just nice.
They're pretty good. They're salty. There's nothing weird about them. Now I gotta do something about this oil. Fuck. Oh, that's really soft. Is it leaking holes through? No, I think it's on the outside. All right, perfect. These are a 0 score. If the next oil is better, it goes above. If the next oil is worse, it goes below. Let's go give Kevin one of these French fries and see what he thinks. Kevin, is Kevin here?
The Skyrim music. I think you should know that.
You want to try some of Big Willie's potato fries?
I'm suspicious.
Why?
Nothing. These are delicious fries, chef. They taste normal. Should I keep eating?
Yeah, you keep eating.
Okay. These taste fine.
Nothing weird?
No, not at all.
Okay, that was made with the canola oil I found in the back of your truck.
Good. Perfect.
Good? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, that's the baseline. Our next oil is avocado oil. I'm gonna do a little less than the 2 cups. That was a bit scarier. Oh geez, how hot is this? I'm gonna turn it down. Oh, and I'm like burning. I'm like melting the freaking thermometer. No.
Also, if you do anything with oil, deep frying or whatever, if it starts smelling pretty bad, if it starts smoking, usually it's called the smoke point for when it starts to decompose basically and becomes quite unhealthy. It's also if you reuse the same oil. If you go to a States fair, something like that, and the first day it's not really that bad, but they usually don't switch out the oil since the health department is probably not super on top. The second and third day or so on, after a while they have to switch it out, but yeah, it gets quite unhealthy. Plus, if you walk into a restaurant and immediately smell the smell of oil, so I probably everyone knows that kind of smell, that means they probably use old oil.
Throw the fries in.
Which is unhealthy and stinks.
No overflow. This is great. Set a timer for 4 minutes. Throw a thermometer in there that we can barely read anymore. You know, that looks pretty good. They're like a little crispy and brown on the edge, kind of golden in the middle. Hot avocado French fries. Probably cost like $40 in any city. Boomer jokes. I have no idea what oil this is.
I think avocado oil, you could maybe taste the difference. Avocado doesn't have a super strong flavor, but it's enough, I think. Mustard oil. 1 second. If I'm 1 second, I'm not sure if it's the same. I need this one. I need this one. This one. I don't think so. Maybe I tried it once, but okay, no, I don't really like bitter stuff, to be honest. For something like the bitterness of a coffee, maybe, or dark chocolate, but I don't know. If it's just oil, it's probably not something for me.
I genuinely cannot tell. It tastes exactly the same as the canola oil. Definitely don't use the, what was it, like 20 bucks for that bottle? $18.99, we used about half of it. That was like $10 of oil to make those fries. And it tastes exactly the same as the canola oil. Salt. It tastes like salt. All right, I'm gonna go dump this. It's not leaking yet. Let's go give some French fries to other subjects. Mamma mia, it's me, a chef. I have some French fries for you guys. No. Just
Imagine you work for someone and he comes in with that kind of outfit. You hear him scream outside, flames coming out through the window, and then he comes in, yeah, eat this.
They were cooked in motor oil.
I'm just afraid of this.
What? The outfit? I have an unmonitored stove outside.
It tastes excellent. This is very good.
What if I told you they were cooked in $10 worth of avocado oil? Our next oil is a delightful solidified coconut oil. Oh, that looks like
coconut oil or palm tree oil is pretty scrutinized because it's in basically everything, but it's not that unhealthy. It's perfectly in the middle. It's not really that healthy, but it's also not really unhealthy, but it's absolutely trash for the environment. Yeah, the crunch. Super. Actually, what do you prefer? Crunchy or slightly sloppy French fries? I think both are sometimes nice. Sometimes the long, slightly floppy French fries just hit the spot, but a nice, decent crunch on the edge at least is also quite nice.
Exactly what I would imagine the inside of someone's face looks like when you're doing facial reconstruction surgery on them.
Yeah, let's do some facial reconstruction. I'm pretty sure that's not how it looks like.
Do I just stick my into it? Oh my god, this stuff does not want to break apart. What does it taste like? Like candle wax. It tastes like...
Ooh, him eating that reminded me of a traumatizing childhood experience. I still remember. I was probably, I don't know, 8 or so. We had some breakfast, lunch, whatever in school. And I thought, yeah, this is I like cheese. And I thought, yeah, this is a piece of cheese. So let's take a bite. I took the piece and bit in it, and it was a piece of butter. So I literally took a full bite of butter. I almost puked. But I felt like, yeah, just spitting it out would be rude, and I shouldn't do that. So I literally ate the piece of butter whole. I felt sick afterwards, obviously. Yeah, McDonald's does have moisty fries, but it's probably more how fresh they are. They are a bit crispy, but if they are fresh, they have a slight crisp to it, but they become very soggy super quick, and they don't fry the fries to be dark golden brown. They fry it as much as absolutely necessary, I think. They are not really brown, usually, at McDonald's.
Do you want to make methamphetamine?
Do you want to build a math lab?
Do you want to smoke some crack? I think Red Robin has the shittiest French fries ever. They call them steak fries. Like, why you put a meat word?
There are steak fries in a restaurant around here, but I don't really go out to fast food place or in general go out for food. But yeah, steak fries are not that bad. I like them. Coconut oil is in general quite popular, just because, like I said, it's not super unhealthy or anything, but the problem is it's super shit for the environment. For hair, yeah, in hair products it's also quite popular, but yeah, with my kind of haircut, I don't really give a fuck. I just use all-in-one what's it called? Yeah, all-in-one showering, whatever.
In your French fries to upsell them.
I don't
they're
really
huge, and they're like mashed potatoes on the inside and
keep
sort
care
of
of my
disgusting
hair.
on the outside.
Gets cut
I
anyways.
didn't mean to go that deep. I was just trying to say my least favorite French fries are Red Robin steak fries. They should call them shit fries. My next least favorite is probably McDonald's French fries, like 20 minutes after you bought them. All right, coconut oil French fries. Guess what? It tastes like a French fry. It tastes exactly the same as every other French.
Also, the reason why it's that popular, it's one of the few oils. Actually, it's a fat, so it is hard at room temperature, which makes it very useful, and it doesn't grow bad as quickly. So you can just keep it around for a long time, and it's hard and it's not going rancid.
French fry, I'm gonna lose my mind. There is no difference between any of these French fries. Nice ass.
They taste exactly the same.
Any guess? Could you even begin to guess?
No.
What do you think, Sandra?
Oh, they're really good.
What do you think? What kind of oil?
Imagine he walks up to your door, you open the door, and yeah, he just hands you a French fry.
French fry oil? You could get it.
Coconut oil.
Oh!
Really? Yep.
Wow, these are really good.
Don't taste it
I taste none of it. You won't believe it. Chef has new French fry.
I don't like this game.
It's not a game. This is real life.
These smell weirder. They don't smell as good.
How can you smell any difference?
I don't like it.
Really? You can taste the difference?
Yeah.
They kind of remind me of...
A standing desk like this would be cool, I guess, but I think those kind of desks cost at least, I think, $500 or so minimum. Even mine was, I think, 200 or so, and mine is relatively cheap. Mine is actually pretty cool, but the board, so the tabletop itself, is a little bit squishy.
Wendy's fries.
Lard might be the move. In Spanish, it's called manteca.
Lard, I think McDonald's or Burger King or something used lard for a while, but they got rid of it since it's probably more expensive, quite unhealthy, and I don't know. But it's supposed to have a more meaty, more richer taste.
That's what it says on the side of the box. It's very slimy. Oh, it's very mushy too. Oh, this is cool. Let's crank that soldier boy, you know? What do the kids say? What do kids say these days? What slang do kids use nowadays? Bruh, fam, Gucci, low-key, tea, chill. This annual list of slang terms could have some parents saying yeet. I'm not gonna read this article. I'm not reading this article. This oil's lit, fam. Dab on the haters. This oil's Gucci.
Hearing those wannabe slang words just hurts sometimes.
This Gucci bag was made by children in Bangladesh.
If someone uses those kind of
Kid in
words,
Bangladesh making sweaters.
unironically, in that
Boss
frequency,
makes $1, I make 1/1000th of a cent. This is why I don't wear
would have to
clothes.
punch a
My
person.
lavish lifestyle is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. Have you ever tried downloading something from the...
That's scary. Imagine having that in your house at night.
Is it smoking? Oh yeah. It smells like burning corpse. Trying to get away from it. Trying to get away from the smell. Going in. Ooh. Yeah, that smells sort of ripe. It smells like everything but meat.
You want to tell me that thing wouldn't be a cursed item? That would try to kill your family, probably.
That's what it smells like. Burning bones.
I'm judging from just looks, but sometimes you're right with just judging someone's appearance.
Riz is a colloquial word defined as style, charm, or attractiveness, the ability to attract a romantic or sexual partner, according to the Oxford University Press. How do you know if you have Riz? Sounds like a venereal disease. I have
Probably.
Riz. All right, lard French fries.
They look nice. That's the perfect kind of crispy, perfectly golden brown.
So hot. First of all, the observation that the oil itself that we're deep frying in looks disgusting. It's cloudy, it's horrible. It reminds me
It looks actually disgusting.
of like unflavored gelatin.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. The fries smell
Unflavored gelatin actually is super disgusting. If you actually tasted gelatin without any sugar and such, that stuff is revolting.
It feels like the first time. I mean, maybe they're just really hot, but they feel more full. It's the first time I've noticed them tasting like more, probably closest to like actually like meat-ish, like Red Robin's Krabby Steak Fries. Do either of you know what Riz means? Like risen? Well, so here's new
Lard. I think it's basically beef tall. So it is I'm not 100% sure about it because the English name is probably quite different. But it's either basically the fatty part of an animal rendered out, or the fat of from milk. But I think it's the fatty part of the animal. But it's a meat product. Now that I think about it, it is probably they just use the fatty part of an animal, render out the fat, usually with heat, and then it solidifies again, and then they sell it. That's why it has a bit more of a meaty taste. Because it was meat. It's probably the least healthy fat they had around there. Maybe later on that will be worse, but if it meat fat is usually more flavorful, but also less healthy from the get-go.
French fries. Risen on my Gucci, does that mean anything? Does that ring a bell?
It makes me uncomfortable.
These are rank. These don't smell very good. Are you like...
Oh.
These just
God,
don't smell
why does
good.
it smell like meat?
This might be the best tasting one.
You know what? I really hate it.
You like it?
No, I don't.
You actually don't like it?
This might be the best.
Okay, I think that's Photoshop. I'm not. I think it's not Critter.
Tasting one.
You know what? I really hate it.
You like it?
No, I don't.
You actually don't like it?
I actually don't like
Why?
it. Because I just can't get over the smell.
The whole experience? You should have smelled it when it was frying.
It really... It just smells like I'm eating like old meat from the back of a fridge.
Do you know what rizzing on my Gucci means?
Yeah, Peter taught me.
What does it mean?
Peter can teach you.
I should also make a French fries stream, but I'm not gonna go that far.
Okay, so they smell normal. They,
At least not
actually, they don't
in
smell
the
normal,
ending of
but
this
I don't
one.
know what that is.
I'm
They
not
look
gonna go
oilier
that
than
far.
normal. I think they taste better. They don't taste as burned. They're not like crisp though. I feel like the other ones might have been crisper, but these don't taste burned.
Any guesses?
No idea. WD-40.
Beef lard.
Wait, really? Oh wow, that's why they taste so good. Oh shit. Oh god. Oh, my beer.
Very responsible adult.
Deep frying oil is Kroger brand sweet cream unsalted butter. If you're actually using
Butter as well.
day-to-day life, you are
You can deep fry butter, but butter is that kind of oil. It's actually a fat since it's solidified in room temperature. Butter, you can fry with it, but if you heat it too much, it becomes quite brown. For some sauces and such, you want the brown butter, but it becomes quite unhealthy. So I would avoid using butter for anything that gets fried with higher heat or for longer time.
Sleeping on salted butter. I don't care if it kills me. I think my favorite thing in life is food. If I die from eating, that's okay. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think most Americans are okay with that.
Caramba, I don't like this.
What's up, gamer?
Hey, Kevin told me that you could teach me what Riz and Gucci mean.
Gucci is what's in your mom's coochie.
Okay.
And Riz is what I have.
I still feel like I'm confused.
Alright, I think if you weren't looking for a zoomer, you should look for... Fuck. No, that's definitely Kevin. Kevin's definitely a zoomer.
Hey, Kevin told me to talk to you.
No, I'm telling you to talk to Kevin.
Close it and then let her rip. Hey, what does Risen and Gucci mean?
Riz is like you're good at like talking to people. It's short for charisma.
Oh,
it's like,
it is.
He's got
I
Riz,
still
he's, like,
don't
good-
know exactly what RIS stands for. I know what it stands for, but what is the? How did they get to the word RIS? I'm super bad with that kind
I
of
thought
stuff
it was
as well.
like a STD.
Yeah, high Riz, probably also high STI ratio.
Yeah,
Low risk, no
probably.
STIs.
Yeah, which is why I like to keep it low as possible.
Okay, and then what's Gucci?
Gucci just means good. That's like 4 or 5 years old, man.
Are there new words?
Gucci
What's the
gang.
new word?
I had a classmate. That's quite a while back. She unironically sung Gucci Gang in one of the lunch breaks.
Mine.
That's like
It
new for
hurt.
That's it. Thanks. Bye.
All right, bye.
If the idea of answering the phone stresses you out and gives you social anxiety, you probably don't have.
I don't like to answer
That
my phone,
looks
so
and
I don't
smells
have RIS, I guess.
amazing. All right, deep frying with butter.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure at this point is impossible. You can't win.
It is
every-
possible,
but maybe it tastes okay. No, it doesn't.
but it's
Maybe with
not
salt, though.
the way
French
you
fries,
want.
fried in butter. No, it's kind of like mashed. It's unmashed mashed potatoes. What is that? What does it leave us with?
That sounds
Mineral
actually
oil? We're
nice.
getting into the horrible, the nightmare oils now.
Unmashed
It's so
mashed
tiny.
potato
Mineral
sounds.
oil.
I like
This is
mashed
good.
potato.
It's thick. It's creamy. I bet you.
I don't even have an idea what this oil exactly is, to be honest. I don't think it's supposed to be used for cooking. Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to tell that this is mineral oil. I bet you it's gonna taste better than regular oil.
I don't know where it comes from, so
Maybe
how
it's-
it is produced.
On the side of that propane, you see all the stalactites growing on it? What do you think it tastes like? This probably looks like the coconut oil, probably. Nah, maybe. I don't know. Tastes like all the oils mixed together. Maybe the lard? What spilled over? Everything? Ooh.
Yeah, it looks just like thick water. Yeah, it is edible.
Don't overflow,
It is sold as something edible. He explains it later.
Stop. Don't overflow. Don't overflow.
But
shit, it's overflowing.
It's
oh my
I don't
god,
I don't know how you produce it. So it's maybe artificial in some, I don't know what. It's probably not pressed out of a vegetable. No, yeah, like olive oil or whatever. But I have no idea about the properties as well. How healthy, unhealthy. Since it's liquid in room temperature, I assume it's not super bad. Since most room temperature liquid, so oils, are not that bad. But I don't know how it reacts with heat, for example. It might be quite dangerous.
so big.
So
It's
quite
like-
dangerous. yeah, you can probably eat it since it's edible from the get-go, but it's probably not good for your cancer probabilities.
These might be the nicest looking French fries we have made all night, gamers. They look exactly like French fries. This is
To be honest,
psychotic. I
they
might
look
actually get
quite
diarrhea from
delicious.
too many of these. Is this enough? How much mineral oil do you need to have diarrhea?
And
Mineral oil.
it is sold as
French fries.
I don't. He will say it like that. I don't remember the name.
It's a chef.
Laxative. That's the name. It's sold as a laxative, so it's edible, but you should probably not eat too much of it.
Delectable French fries.
I heard you screaming a lot out there. What happened? Did it overflow a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's less than there normally is.
Yes.
What's good?
What if I told you that was a mineral oil French fry? That's a French fry cooked in mineral oil.
That's what makes you shit?
Yeah, well, I think you have to eat a lot of it.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Tasteless, odorless mineral oil for oil purposes, including laxative.
I like the last one.
Oh, you look hungry.
Skyrim.
Mmm, those are crunchy. Mmm. Salty, crunchy.
How would you rate them, French fry wise?
I think they're the best so far.
Mineral oil.
No way.
Yeah, this is
Mineral oil.
That's mineral oil. I actually don't know how much you can. It's a laxative. I don't know how much I eat for that.
Let me have another.
I know. I'm like, these are gonna be gone. Maybe I should Google that really quick. 15 to 45 milliliters a day.
If you don't like someone,
check
you
back
can
in
just give them those French fries and I don't know, bring them to work or whatever. And yeah, what happens happens.
Tomorrow, I'll let you know if anything happens inside.
Feeding people laxative is
My diarrhea
a
hasn't
bit
changed
problematic, but
It's exactly the same
you
as it
just
always
fed
is.
them
Those are
fries.
Actually, really good French fries. Is anybody else nervous? I know,
Now
I'm
we
sure
get
as
to
heck
the interesting part. Everything before was alright, I guess. Didn't really scare me. This, I wouldn't try. I would be scared.
Pennzoil, SAE 10W30. It looks like every other oil. All the oils look the same. This one's a little darker. This kind of looks like dehydrated oil. Avoid prolonged or repeat contact with skin. If solid, call a poison control center or doctor immediately. Do not induce vomiting. All right. Okay. That one tastes funny.
Yeah.
Control, how can I help you?
Hi, I was changing the oil in my son's car. We just bought a new car for him, and some of the motor oil splashed in my mouth. It was the new one. I got kind of a mouthful of motor oil. Is that bad? I spit it out.
Oh, okay. I think if you just had it in your
Yeah,
mouth.
I changed the oil and I got some of the motor oil in my mouth. It was an accident. I just fell on it.
There won't be a problem. Do you have a name on the product so I can just double check it?
Yeah, it's the Pennzoil SAE 10W30. It didn't even taste that bad. It kind of just sort of a little chemically, but I spit it out immediately.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hey, chef. Are you doing anything Friday?
I don't think so. Why?
All right. Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Hi. Thanks for holding. So, it looks like it's just kind of a regular motor oil. So,
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect a big concern from just having it in your mouth briefly. Main thing is that it could be a little bit irritating if it gets left on, the skin or, where it touches. Essentially.
Right.
So that's why we just kind of want to wash things off as best we can.
Okay.
And I don't think it would cause more than like a little stomach upset or.
Yeah, another genre. People wanted
Okay,
that kind of stream, so.
I accidentally swallowed it. Just curious. I don't plan to, but.
I think I would be telling you relatively the same thing. To
Okay.
just kind of, I think it'd just be a higher chance to get the stomach upset and diarrhea.
That's actually very surprising that motor oil like that is not an issue. If I would think drinking motor oil or getting it in the mouth probably not that big of a deal, but drinking motor oil I would assume it would fuck you up. I like science. I like science. Science is very nice. This is probably some of my favorite YouTube content to consume. Science, sometimes actual science, but that dumb kind of science where, William Osman and so on. So those dudes that know that stuff about science but are still dumbasses, that's fun.
Before, and that was actually a pretty nice experience. All right, that's darker than I remember it being.
Lily is looking at me.
Oh my god, it smells like burnt rubber. Oh, it smells so bad.
What the hell do you have there?
Just overflowing. Alright, start the timer. So
Lily is carrying something in her mouth, but I don't know what it is.
I think we need a different motor oil. I think that there's some additive in this that is causing
Where she got it from?
To maintain its thickness. Here we guys going. Also, I learned what Riz means. It's charisma. It's like you're good at talking to, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but where's your sense for adventure?
I mean, I can't imagine. It's like I got that Riz because I'm not afraid of talking to a person at the, not self-checkout. I'm not afraid of that. I bet you there's a whole generation of people that haven't.
You should try different stuff for the adventure, for the thrill, for.
It's the Riz King.
I don't know.
Something about him and Livy, right?
Livy?
Yeah.
That's next video.
You got Gat? And he got Riz? What does Gat mean? What does Gat mean? Do you know what Gat means? I feel like if I was in Gordon Ramsay's kitchen right now, he would actually beat the living daylights out of me.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay would help you with beating you senseless.
I couldn't even get him hot enough to crisp him up. God,
I wouldn't just be scared of the oil itself to eat it or drink it. Just heating it up sounds like it might be unhealthy.
Lube. Come on. You know what? Oh, fuck. It got the aftertaste of a janitorial cleaning closet. That's our conclusion. The Target up and up.
To be honest, that's probably better than I expected. I never really tasted WD-40 or something like that, but it seems quite horrible.
Mineral oil meant as a laxative is our best French fry frying oil. It might actually be the cheapest too. I don't know how much it costs. It was $3. You know, it's a little more expensive than the other oils, but it makes a better French fry. So if you're at home, you're looking to lose weight, you're looking to have diarrhea, cook yourself some French fries with Target up and up mineral oil. You probably could use any brand, but I thought it'd be funny to recommend this one.
Ooh, Bapti. The second channel videos of his are basically just him having a weird idea and just starting filming, which I guess it's pretty fun. And yeah, the clear oil, it looks super weird. As I said before, but people actually use this in their PC, so they use that as cooling metal. As cooler fluid, so they have a watertight PC and just submerge all the electronics in the clear oil. It doesn't look like oil. It looks wrong. Those guys are also funny.
Oh my.
This is. I haven't subscribed to them on this channel here. Yeah, chemistry is fun, but I'm more of a biologist than chemist. Chemistry is nice, but it's probably biology, then chemistry, then physics, probably, then math. If you take all those science. Math, I hate math. And someone wants something from me, I guess. Yeah, That's the problem with chemistry and physics. Chemistry and physics both require math, and relatively high level of math. And I can do math. I had to go through a higher, but I hate it. It's just annoying. And biology just makes sense for me. For me, biology is just logic. It just clicks. Chemistry and stuff as well to some degree, and physics, but it's still a bit more. You need to be a bit more scientific with it. With biology, some of it is just, it makes sense that this makes this, since, I don't know, it's biology. You don't really have to calculate anything, since, look at that animal over there, it works, so... Ooh, this is cool. I like Fermat. Fermat is super cool. And this channel is actually pretty cool in regards of how good they are. They have some of the setup is pretty trash, because some of the stuff they do would be super expensive, so actually super expensive. But they have a little bit of trash setup, but do stuff that's high end in regards of what, it's biology to a higher degree. Yeah, I'm in autonomy and human autonomy as well. I like it still. Dissecting, for example, dissecting pig's heart was fun. People around left the classroom, and I was super excited. I thought it was pretty nice. Yeah, it's also like those dudes. They actually have some stuff. They actually do research. Some of the stuff, for example, this one is just basically stupid. It doesn't make sense to make this. It's just, I don't know. I think they explained it. It's just, they had the idea and made it. But some of the stuff, they actually do quite some research. And for example, growing and manipulating genetics in cells, they do it. And their setup, here it's not even that bad, but some of the setup is just home-built stuff for growing neurons or something. Growing cells and manipulating them, their DNA. That's pretty cool. But also impressive that they can pull it off.
Yo, Justin,
And
you hungry?
One of their big project is they want to grow neurons, then teach them to play Doom. So they want basically just a sprinkle of neurons to play Doom.
You want to grab some lunch?
And they made some strides recently.
Neurons. I'm not gonna have a lot of time.
Don't worry, I got you. Quick, Jonah, grab the case!
Ah.
Smoke. There we go.
Single-use instant hot dog. Of all of the silly sentences we've said on this channel, this one might be my favorite. This, like many of our projects...
The thing is, the most... if you want to be on YouTube with chemistry or whatever, so for example, Red, he's very, very good in chemistry. His channel stuff is sometimes, I don't know, a 2-hour video about making one specific thing out of chemistry, but he has a nice way to film stuff. He sounds he has a very nice sounding voice, then he often does stuff that's actually interesting, but not really has chemistry, high level chemistry, but the end result, you don't need that really. It's just, yeah, I had an idea, let's make it. And yeah, it works. He sounds good, so even if you're not really into chemistry or something, and you just want a nice sounding ASMR style voicey in background, his channel is probably a good choice. But at the same time, he knows his stuff. He is a good chemist.
Started as
And you need
but
to
when we
be
started
entertaining if you want to do this kind of stuff on YouTube. Since, yeah, chemistry or, I don't know, physics or so on is not really the most engaging subject, usually.
About it, we realized it would probably be fairly easy to implement, and before we knew it, we were speccing out materials for an instant hot dog cooker, and a military-grade one at that. Now, right off the bat, there were some choices to make, because cooked can mean a lot of things. Hot dogs actually come pre-cooked from the factory, so while it may not be the best way, you can eat them straight out of the package. But in general, if you go to a hot dog stand on the street, those dogs are either boiled or grilled. We considered doing both, but what started as a silly idea turned into more than a month-long research project to actually make the first version work. Remember, we do things not because they are easy.
Yeah, in America they put on, I think, some pickle whatever. I don't know what it is exactly. I'm not American, but they put some weird stuff on the hot dog. So mustard, ketchup, and something else, but I don't know what it is exactly. It looks disgusting though.
Because we think they'll be easy. So today
that's a very good sentence.
Long research project to actually make the first version work. Remember, we do things not because they are easy, but because we think they'll be easy.
Yeah,
so today we're going with
easy.
boiled, but let us know in the comments if you'd like to see a grilled version in the future. Initially, we did do some experiments to see if it was possible to cook a hot dog from the inside.
Those things are actually super damn hot. I used them for something. I used material for heating up something before, because I didn't remember what it was, but I wanted to quickly heat up some metal, and I just used one of those thingies. Yeah.
But when we tried inserting a tube into a hot dog and then jamming a sparkler down the hole...
This would maybe work if you surround it with sparklers. So surrounding heat and maybe insert heat, but yeah.
It's a sort of slow form of thermite. All we got was a slightly...
Yeah, in Austria we don't really have that kind of hot dog. We have something similar, but probably better. Since the sausage, I don't really like it, but the sausage looks higher quality. Yeah. Just ram metal and
absolutely
the best thing is over here before in the experiment before they used a metal rod to not contaminate the hot dog itself, but you can see they didn't hear for this reason.
Slow form of thermite. All we got was a slightly warm hot dog and an absolutely charred core. So we knew it would have to be cooked exclusively from the outside, because if we're doing this incredibly silly project, I won't settle for anything less than a perfectly cooked hot dog.
Yeah, the American hot dog seems super disgusting, to be honest. The quality standards they have is, I don't know, scary. Yeah. What if you have a metal insufficiency? What if you need some more metal in your diet?
That's right, Fink. Look at those steaming weenies.
Since we're going with boiling our weenies, we needed a way to rapidly heat water to as close as boiling as possible. We ended up taking inspiration from this now discontinued product that makes a hot cup of coffee using a charge of thermite built into the can.
Imagine coming up with that idea. Selling coffee with a thermite charge.
Pan. The idea was that you twist the bottom, which sets off the
Coffee is
chemical
nice,
reaction.
but I literally prefer cold coffee. So I hate warm coffee. Coffee is for me just cold.
And generates a huge amount of heat very quickly to warm the coffee. For those of you unfamiliar, classical thermite is a highly exothermic mixture of
thermite is
aluminum
pretty
powder
cool.
and iron oxide. The aluminum
3 to 1. So three. Yeah, I think 3 to 2. So 3 parts of iron oxide, so rust, and 2 parts of aluminium powder. Mix it together, and you have basically basic thermite. It's not as good as the bought one, since if you buy it, it usually has some hydrocoating, so if it gets wet, it's not as big of an issue. But if you ignite thermite and you would pack it into a shape where it's not just powder, you can literally let it burn underwater.
Aluminum acts as the fuel
Thermite
and
is
rips
cool.
the oxygen off of the iron oxide, leaving behind molten iron as the mixture burns.
And if you use magnesium instead of the aluminium, you get something that's even more explosive.
Being set off in flower pots on YouTube, thermite has a variety of industrial applications, including welding train tracks together or anything else where you need a ton of molten iron very quickly. But what we found when we looked into it was that the coffee cans use a weird proprietary thermite that the company had developed, and isn't the usual aluminum and iron oxide stuff. While iron oxide and aluminum is the classic recipe, there's lots of ways to make thermite that replace either the type of oxide used or the metal, and depending on your choice, the reaction will be more or less violent. Silicon dioxide, for example, also known as sand, quartz, or just silica, burns much slower and releases less energy than iron oxide, though also at the cost of being harder to start and maintain the burn. You can see that even with the help of some magnesium ribbon, getting silica thermite to burn on its own is very difficult.
It looks
While
also
it technically
pretty
releases enough
weird.
energy to be
The grey
self-sustaining,
tone.
you usually need to add another ingredient like sulfur to keep the reaction burning hot enough. The problem with this is adding ingredients like
Yeah, I guess it's always satisfying to just have glowing hot metal. I played around with hot metal very often in real life. I literally, I don't think that's the pair of pants, but I literally have pants where I dropped molten metal on them, or red hot glowing metal. So I got splashed with molten metal before, and still did it, since working with metal is fun.
sulfur will produce
Yeah,
an
the powdery
enormous amount
texture.
of gas. So if we want to contain the thermite even a little bit inside of a canister, this is a recipe for...
This reminds me of how easy it is to make a rocket fuel, at least trashy one, which is basically sugar rockets.
very, very bad situations. The coffee cans use some sort of silica thermite, but beyond that, we don't know what other ingredients they added to control the reaction and make it easy enough to start.
Imagine
So we had to
you
just
want to heat up your coffee and it just sprays molten metal into your face.
start from scratch and develop our own. We started with normal iron thermite as our control. This sort of thermite has a bunch of characteristic properties. For one, it tends to spray a ton of stuff everywhere and make a huge mess.
Yeah.
But beyond that, something I don't think most videos of it make clear is just how bright these reactions are. We had welding masks on to protect our eyes, and even after the reaction, the puddle of molten slag and iron it leaves behind is so bright that it hurts to look at with your bare eyes. Keep in mind, classical thermite burns at temperatures well over 3,000 degrees Celsius. Some of the hottest types of thermite can get even hotter by a few thousand degrees, to the point that they throw off an enormous amount of UV light.
Thermite is actually scary. That's hot enough to instantly burn everything you want, basically.
Enough to get to tan just from being near it during that initial burst of light. So it should be said not to try anything you're about to see at home.
But it's so
Thermite
easy to
is
make.
extremely dangerous, and not only can it burn you, but blind you as well. We're doing these tests in a controlled environment with trained professionals and an abundance of safety equipment at the ready. To help...
1 second. I watched a few YouTubers who did a bit of nuclear stuff. But yeah, nuclear experiments are a little bit of a problem. Since, yeah, you can't really make anything that's super interesting without dying.
Show just how bright we're talking about, here's one where I've used as much neutral density and ISO reduction and all that kind of stuff as I could to try and show the reaction while it's at its peak. You can now only just barely see the sparkler that we're using to ignite it, but when the reaction starts, the camera still just gets absolutely maxed out.
Let's make
Slowing the
flashbangs.
footage down though, you can see that it burns like the sun and the room becomes clearly visible for a moment even through all that darkness. Okay, now let's see what all of this
Imagine
energy
just having a bag of thermite in the middle of the night and just throwing it somewhere. Basically throwing a flashbang just randomly.
Use it to heat water. We set a charge of thermite inside of a sort of test tube that we made out of copper pipe. And then
I wouldn't be convinced that this holds, since yeah, copper has a relatively high melting point, but if you can melt the solder with your blowtorch, usually the stuff is not very... It's very easy to melt. I think it's around 400 degrees.
Then set that in a beaker of water with a thermocouple. As before, it sprays a ton of stuff everywhere, leaving the water tinged a little bit red. And sometimes it would just melt through the copper because the heat wasn't getting conducted away quickly enough. So even though the reaction is really hot, it doesn't do a great job heating the water because of how much material gets ejected and wasted. But you can see the water does boil for a moment, and the water does jump about 50 degrees. So obviously we're going to need to tame this mixture a little bit if we want to be setting it off inside a partially sealed tube. There will be a vent hole in the hot dog cooker, but too much gas and it could still burst the tube. And we also don't want hot bits of iron flying out the vent either. So anything
let's do that on New Year's,
slow the reaction
especially if you
cooling it off
threw
too
that onto a street. The street thermite produces molten metal, which would fuse with the street, so you would just have a huge lump of molten metal in the fused with the asphalt, and I'm pretty sure you can't remove it without breaking the asphalt.
much, but also can't produce any
And
more
you
gas
would
than is
maybe
absolutely
get charged with vandalism or a little bit of terrorism. It depends.
necessary. The solution we found was to use quartz sand mixed into the thermite. When you add the right amount, it still burns really well, but it doesn't spray stuff everywhere. While the silica can burn in the reaction, any that doesn't just melts and acts as a sticky glue to hold the burning mass together. To figure out the right amount, we tested 3 different concentrations of silica. At 20%, it still burns pretty violently. It doesn't quite go whoosh as much or throw as much debris, but it is not a slow burn by any measure.
Scary.
In the tube test, this mixture did look promising as it didn't just eject all the material, but the flame coming out the top was still pretty large and sparky. And we learned that even though it is more tame, it's not nearly tame enough. Sometimes it would still just melt the copper.
Yeah.
Though molten copper does heat the water pretty effectively, so that's kind of progress.
That looks scary.
At 40%, the mixture burns much more slowly and maintains a steady burn for a few seconds.
To be honest, this
is the
still
exact
looks
behavior
scary.
we're looking for. And in the tube test, again, it burns nice and evenly, and you can see that it does a great job of imparting its energy into the water, making it
But
boil
yeah,
steadily.
it's not
At
glowing
60%,
red,
things
which
get a
is
bit
probably
iffy. The
a
mix
good
burns
sign.
even more slowly, but we started running into issues of the mix not burning properly or failing to ignite, which is really bad. The only thing more dangerous than an armed incendiary device is one triggered that didn't activate.
Yeah,
At
that's
this point,
true.
we were feeling really confident about this project because we had a mix that heated the water and was pretty controllable. That is, until we tried to light the thermite without using either a sparkler or magnesium ribbon. You see that one
Yeah.
of the issues with thermite is that its ignition temperature is hotter than most fire burns. Once it gets going, it burns like a hot damn, but if I literally just point a blowtorch at a pile of thermite, it usually won't go. Fire just isn't hot enough, and apparently the little plasma lighters you can buy aren't either. This kicked off another solid 2 weeks of tinkering.
I think I either decided or they will say it. You can apparently buy pre-made thermite, which reminds me always about the interesting thing. It is apparently you can carry transport several kilos of C4 in a car without any warning whatever, since C4 is apparently so unreactive that you don't need a any warning shields or whatever if you transport it, since it's a few kilos of C4, so nothing would happen even if you came into a car crash or whatever. You can literally throw C4 in a campfire and it wouldn't explode. You can put it into a microwave, nothing would happen. But still nuts that you could just transport C4, at least in the US. I'm not sure if it's the same here, but yeah, transporting kilos of pretty good explosives. Just have it in your trunk. It's fine.
Trying to make a mixture that was both sensitive enough to be lit by an electric igniter, stable enough to not be dangerous to be around, and burns hot enough to start the thermite. Oh, and of course, produce as little gas as physically possible. Unfortunately, because I don't want the bomb squad at my lab for the third time, I can't actually tell you what we settled on for the fuse material, but I will say that I have never had such a difficult time getting things to burn in my life. Which, to be fair, is why some places will sell pre-mixed thermite. It's essentially just inert rust unless you can get it above 1600 degrees, and evidently a spark
usually you use
the fuse material was mounted to the igniter, and then we used
what's it called? Magnesium strips to ignite thermite. That's the magnesium strips are also pretty cool. If you just have a roll of magnesium strips, you can just hang them somewhere, light them, and they will burn somewhat fast. But you can, with one small magnesium strip, this is basically like an ultra flashlight. That thing will light out a huge area, and it's just a little piece of metal, but it burns up. That's a problem.
Some tissue paper to make a tube around the fuse that we could fill with thermite to make sure it's in good contact. This can then be stuck into the thermite charge to get it to light consistently. Okay,
not at all
we got the
sketchy.
hot stuff mostly under control now. Time to actually build the cooker. The design is pretty simple. It's basically 3 sections: the cooking area, the thermite canister, and an igniter on the side. The main chamber is heat sealed shut and holds both the water and hot dog ready to be used. The thermite chamber is designed to come apart because we did intend these to be recommissionable, even if that didn't end up being the case. In terms of machining, we really only had to make 2 parts, both out of aluminum. The first has a lip for the polycarbonate tube to be glued onto. Then the part was drilled and bored out. First to the inner diameter of the copper tubing we're using, and then an inner lip was added for the copper tube to sit on. After those features had been turned on the lathe, it was cleaned up and then brought over to the tube to sit on. After those features had been turned on the lathe, it was cleaned up and then brought over to the mill to form the vent hole on the side.
Top-tier engineering.
The other aluminum piece is a plug to fit into the bottom. It has an O-ring groove cut into it so that any gases are forced to go out the vent and can't escape through the bottom. Also, to prevent it popping off like a champagne cork, we drilled and threaded holes both into it and the top piece so they could be bolted together. We also drilled a pair of holes for the igniter wires. Now, we need to join the aluminum piece to the copper tubing, but before we do that, each of the copper pieces were electroplated in bright nickel. This is to prevent the copper leaching into the water and...
I like nickel baths, and the color is just... I like the color. It's a beautiful color.
The hot dog, and also just because we're super extra and thought it would look pretty.
Yeah.
So I spent hours carefully polishing each of the tubes to prepare them for plating. Oh, and as you saw in the intro, we made a bunch of these things, so this process was repeated many times.
Bit easier
in terms
to
of
polish
plating, we
stuff,
whipped up
I
a
guess.
super fast, bright nickel plating bath. The ingredients are 25 grams of nickel sulfate, a teaspoon of salt, a sprinkle of either ascorbic or citric acid, and then a tiny bit of a surfactant. Here I'm using tween 20, but a tiny drop of dish soap will likely work as well. We're not going for suds or foaming, we just need a little bit to break the surface tension. As you can tell by how I gave these measurements, the exact quantities of most of the ingredients don't matter. For the plating, I'm using a nickel electrode connected to the positive lead of my bench power supply, and the tube I connect to the negative. Ignore the color of the wires here, they're backwards. No matter how many times I've done this, I always get anode and cathode
pretty easy thing to do. You can basically do it also with copper. Yeah, copper and nickel are probably most common materials to do this with. It's a relatively easy process, but yeah, it makes basically nothing something that's not metal to metal.
Backwards, because chemists and physicists go by opposite names and can't agree. I've set the supply to 8 volts and about 1 amp max. Rather than leaving the tube in the solution, I kept it constantly moving and would periodically rotate it to try and get a nice even coating. If a blemish developed that looked darker and not shiny, I'd clean off the piece, then pop it back on the lathe for a quick polish touch-up, followed by a few more dunks in the plating bath. With that done, we could join the copper tube to the machined aluminum parts, but we can't use epoxy here because this metal will be exposed directly to the thermite.
Yeah,
the last thing we want is water leaking onto the burning
bit.
thermite, so we picked up this special solder specifically made to join aluminum and copper.
Usually, I think you would use something like silver solder.
Though I will say this stuff is not easy to work with. You have to get both pieces incredibly
But
hot
yeah,
and leaving enough gap for
aluminium
the
is
solder to
apparently
kind of
pretty
drip
hard to
into
work
a
with
little
in
bit
that
as it
regard.
doesn't wick very well. But after a few failed attempts, we learned how to get it to make a nice, tight, strong join. Unfortunately, that joint looks like crap, so I carefully
Yeah.
trimmed off the excess metal on the lathe. With that done, everything was again polished and then popped back into the plating bath just to tidy things up and to make sure that this weird solder is fully covered with a food-safe metal. At this point, the cookers are mostly done and there's only a few things left to do. The first is to epoxy on the polycarbonate tube and the igniters. Then we 3D printed a few pieces to make it all sit together nicely and a safety cover to make sure that they cannot be set off by accident. Then we of course need to load the
Yeah, I think, yeah, that's just a normal lighter they just stuck in there. Probably with the cables over here, and then here is a slightly more volatile mix that sets off the actual
safety cover to make sure
charge.
that they cannot be set off by accident. Then we of course need to load the tube with its hot dog and enough water to cover it. We heat sealed the tube closed with a removable lid and popped a safety cap on top so the seal doesn't get damaged. Though we did learn it is excruciatingly important to remove the heat seal before setting off the device.
Steam bomb.
Fire extinguisher, fire extinguisher, fire extinguisher, right now.
That looked like fun.
Fire extinguisher, fire extinguisher, fire extinguisher, right now. Finally, the tubes need to be armed. We're using a 15-gram charge of our special thermite here, which we tamp into the end of the tube gently before adding the igniter and packing the rest of the tube with K-wool. This will help contain the reaction so the thermite doesn't get
That's actually
sprayed
a
out of the vent,
huge
while still allowing gas
empty
to
space
escape.
in there.
After that, everything
So
is
they don't
closed
fill
up
the
and the
whole
cooker is
tube.
ready for use. Alright, I'm hungry and was promised a hot dog, so let's get cooking. For our final version, we also added a removable base to prevent the thing tipping over. But when everything was set and we pushed the button, the result was magical.
Calling cooking a hot dog magical is very interesting.
Smoke.
The pure magic of, I don't know, science.
There we go.
But yeah, it works, I guess. The thing is,
and
you would
finally,
have
I
to
give
take
you
it
what may
apart
be the
completely
best piece of
to
thermal camera
reuse
footage ever recorded. You can actually see the silhouette of the hot dog as the water starts to heat up, but by the time it's done cooking and we pull it out at the end, it is a perfectly cooked hot dog, cooked through and ready to eat. I've been
That's a
making
bit
videos on this platform.
cold. You at least want it to be at around 70 degrees. Usually, if you make food, since it's after 70 degrees, it's somewhat sterilized.
Formed since 2011, and it has
somewhat.
changed a lot in that time. By far the biggest change.
Okay, I think that was it. Oh, here he made rockets, and I'm pretty sure it's sugar rockets, but he doesn't say what it is. I guess he is scared. YouTube probably called him out, so yeah, don't tell people how to make explosives. Actually, there are other science YouTubers I watch, and some of them are actually like, yeah, that's how you make whatever explosive. So actual scary explosive stuff. Yeah, that's how you make it. Basically, a step-by-step tutorial. That's the fun thing about just having weird scientists. That they just like explosives, and who can put it against them? Explosives are fun. As long as you are somewhat responsible with them. But I think I'm gonna call it here for today. I guess I'm gonna do something like this again. Maybe some other niche content. And I don't know, maybe someone has suggestions for that. And yeah. I guess maybe tomorrow some more Fallout. Since I have some interesting plans for Elden Ring. But I have to prepare something first. So, yeah. I hope this was alright. Everything went alright here. And you guys had some fun. But yeah, have a nice rest of your day and see you next time. Goodbye.